Hello, boys and girls. How are we on this fine afternoon? I've got too many cups on my desk. This has accumulated very quickly since I've been back to work since Friday. There's just stuff everywhere. I've got to get back into the routine of taking the stuff upstairs when I'm done with it again. Maybe if I didn't have this Pokemon box in the way, that would be better. I need to reorganize. Oh, the cough's back. Lovely. I am in the process of doing a COVID test right now off the back of yesterday's blocked nose shenanigans. How are we all? Are we all good? I got in trouble this morning. Do you want to know why I got in trouble this morning? I have this. This is a wrestling ring for my AEW figures. It came with an exclusive Cody Rhodes figure, which is why there's no figure in the box. The wrestling ring isn't yet out of the box. This isn't why I got in trouble. I've had this for a little while. This is why I got in trouble, because my new wrestling ring came today that has an exclusive Aubrey Edwards referee figure. This one is scale size, over 35 pieces. So I now have two wrestling rings. And apparently one wrestling ring is too many for me to have. And I now have two. I also got the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Britt Baker Blood and Guts blood splattered figure with the extra heads, which is very cool. Yeah, I've got too many wrestling rings now, apparently. She just keeps saying, where are you going to put it? It's in here. I only want the figure. I only want the figure out of it. It's the only way to get the Aubrey Edwards figure. I've got to have a referee. I don't know. Goodness. Oh, blimey. Leamington FC are actually here, are they? I don't feel pressure. We're going to be fine. Are we all good anyway? How are we all doing? Have we all had a lovely, presumably back to work day for a lot of you today? After the bank holiday yesterday. Some of us started back to work last week. You know, some of us. But then I suppose some of us get to sit in their office playing Football Manager. So I guess it balances out. But how are we all? Are we all good? This is what happened yesterday. If you missed yesterday's stream, we are doing really quite well. What's this? 10 games to go in the season. For the first time all year, we are top of the league. This actually happened right at the end of yesterday's stream. I didn't notice it happen while the match was happening. It kind of just surprised me right at the end of the stream. Oh, look, we're top of the league. We're also still in the Fat Cup as well. So we've got the potential to win a non-league double, the non-league double. This is what went on in the stream yesterday. We had a little bit of an iffy start, surrounded by the FA Cup stuff that was going on as well. December wasn't a great month. I thought it was January. December wasn't a great month, but January we got into some form and we've stayed in that form ever since. And like I say, league table looking really rather pretty, and presumably with a form team in the league as well as being top of the league as well. That's what you want to see. Where are Filed? Because Filed have also won 5 from 5. Oh, blimey. Filed are right there with us. I'm not afraid. It's Filed. Who's afraid of Filed? Everyone in non-league hates Filed. No one's cheering them on. Everyone's backing Leamington in this race. Port Vale are bottling it. Filed have got a game in hand as well. So if they win their game in hand, they go above us, which is alarming. How has that become a thing? Do we play them? We don't. We need Filed to drop some points. Oh, KJ, thank you very much for 18 months. Much appreciated. And the other thing, of course, is seeing how Posh are getting on. Because, of course, on Earth 1, where we, over on YouTube, we left Leamington just before the South Shields game and went to Peterborough in the Championship. I went to Peterborough and spent £10 million in the transfer window. The guy who they've actually brought in this world didn't spend any money in the transfer window. I think I finished 20th. He's up into 18th at the moment. So you could argue he's probably doing better than I did without spending any money. But the real key is, over on Earth 1, Leamington ended up only getting promoted by the playoffs. And here on Earth 2, we're winning the league. And nobody can stop me. I hope. Do we play the game right away, or have we got to press continue? We've got to press continue. Let's press continue a few times while I get caught up with the chat here. Oh, I've completed a coaching qualification. I didn't realise I still had any outstanding. Presumably that's my Continental Pro, because I thought I'd done all my coaching qualifications whilst at Leamington in non-league to legend, but maybe I did finish it off shortly after arriving at Peterborough. Does that mean because Leamington paid for it on Earth 1, they pay for it all the way through? So I finished my qualification at Peterborough with Leamington still paying for it. Do they pay it up front, do we think? Yeah, there's your confirmation. I now have a Continental Pro license in non-league. We should be winning the league. I bet the filed manager's not got a Continental Pro. David Phillips, only a Continental A license. You're basically a waste of space, David. I've got a Continental Pro. That's why I'm going to get promoted as champions and you're a loser. Khalid, thank you very much for the Prime. Is this safe just Leamington? Yes, it is. I've had so many deadlines to meet and you stream to stop me. You're a monster. I know. That's what I do. It's how I roll. Am I just doing the rest of the season on stream then a different save? No, we're going to keep going. We're going to win the Champions League with Leamington. Or get sacked trying. They're the two choices. This save is our long-term Twitch save now. We are going to see where we end up. We won't be leaving. This is a road to glory on Earth 2. None of this non-league to legend nonsense, which, by the way, will be out at 4 o'clock as usual. And the stream will end just before that, so I can send you over to YouTube to watch today's Peterborough episode. But yeah, this is a road to glory. We have a game in hand, Father, a game behind us. Am I not understanding numbers again? No, File definitely have a game in hand. Isaac, that's you not understanding numbers. We've played 36, they've played 35. They definitely have the game in hand. Have to get you down to a game soon. I would very much like that when the weather is warmer. It's snowing here today. I'm not coming to a football match in the snow. I haven't even got a ticket for the posh match on Saturday yet, mainly because it's probably going to get called off like every other game we've played recently. But we're playing in the FA Cup on Saturday and I haven't even got a ticket for that yet. Because if it's really cold, I'll just watch it at home. I'm a fair weather fan. But I'll definitely come down when it's not freezing cold. When it's once you step outside, you're like, I tell you what, this feels like hoodie weather. I don't need a jacket, just a hoodie's fine. Then I'll come down. You finished 21st with Peter and you joined them, not 20th. Well, there you go. That told me. There's the weather report. Well, I already spoilt the weather on Twitter earlier, letting you know it was snowing. So I will do proper. I'll do detailed weather later, but it has snowed here today, a little bit. It's not settled. Stop doing the weather now. You got to give them a reason to stick around. It's not even 1 o'clock, and here I am blowing the weather early on. I've got to spread this stuff out over the stream to give you reasons to stay tuned in. If I give you everything you want up front, you'll just leave. Why buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free? Exactly. Milk me slowly. What? Okay, let's play in the... How good is Scunthorpe? Scunthorpe are 11th. That is a horrible kit. I appreciate the sponsor, but that is a horrible kit. That's quite cool. That is awful. I hate the... Ugh. I really don't like that kit. Evan, thank you very much for the Prime. Right, let's just get out there. And I think the key yesterday, when I stopped paying attention, we started winning the matches. It was when I was really focused on it that we were struggling. And then when I kind of got into the zone, got into Football Manager Autopilot, and we just started chatting about other things, the wins started piling up. So COVID test is negative. That I took that about half an hour ago. So we don't have COVID, kids. This is good. This is good. Means Andy can go back to school tomorrow. Those fade kits are always ugly. Yeah, I think they probably are. I missed the Leamington suit. Well, I've still got the tie on my desk because I wore it at the start of yesterday's stream. There it is. The tie with the badge on. And I've still got the training shirt as well, which I also wore yesterday. But I can't... It's all well and good putting on that shirt to do a video. I think I did like 5 videos in the shirt, which is fine. I don't want to have to start washing it. I'm not going to stream in it for 3 hours a day. Pretty soon that's going to start smelling bad. So it's had a few videos. It's had a stream. It's now been hung up and it will never get washed. That's fine. That's plenty. I'll never wear it again. You should wear the tie with the t-shirt. What? Wear the tie? I wore a tie over a t-shirt yesterday. I'm too cool for that. Should I put the next streamer showdown on my main channel and ask Chris to edit it? Potentially. Yeah, maybe. I'd have to talk to Ben and see if that's something. I mean, I don't know if we've got plans for streamer showdown content. So maybe. And I guess it also depends if Chris has got the capacity to do it, because a streamer showdown is what, 10 or 12 hours of content? It would need to be multiple videos. Hannah's just sent me a message. Now I know why your room smells. My room doesn't smell. Oh, I think she's watching the stream and she's talking about the shirts. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. My room doesn't smell. I thought it was an unrelated text. I didn't know she was watching the stream. It's like, I know something you don't know. Can't believe. Oh, the chat's just gone nuts. I lost it completely. Ash, thank you very much for 15 months. Did I miss another sub in there? I feel like it happened twice. Maybe I didn't. Oh, Heal Project Pete. I don't think I thanked you when that one came in. That was 5 minutes ago, but thank you all the same. Yeah, my shirts are match worn, exactly. Work from home crew here. They are my people. My work from home people. Once everyone starts going to the office again, I really don't have to go back to streaming in the evenings. I really like this streaming during daylight hours deal that I've got going on at the moment. Maybe I need slow mode. Nah, slow mode's for cowards. We'll try going back to the office and then the variant hit. Yeah, well, everyone should just work from home forever. And then I can carry on streaming in the afternoon forever. And everyone's happy. I can't see how there'd be any problem with that. Everyone just stay in their houses forever. It's what's best for me. And what's best for me is what's best for everyone. Apart from whenever I need to go out and get something done. Like, I need people to be at their workplace when I need something. But the rest of the time, just be at home watching my stuff. That's really that's the balance we're looking for here. I don't know how achievable it is. It's fine, I'm at the office and watching you and just not working. Oh, well, that's perfect then. Cancel all of that. Everyone can go back to work as long as they can still watch. Just let us know when you need us at home, Kev. Every afternoon. Most afternoons. I won't be streaming every single day, probably. I'm going to stream for as many as I can. Oh, that was close from Gilks. I'll stream for as many afternoons as I can, but there's sometimes when I probably can't. Anna's already itching for a B&M trip. So I'll have to treat her at some point and take her to B&M. I treat that lady right. I'll have the Easter eggs in, probably. Looks like we're getting knocked out of the fat cup here. This work-life balancing you keep speaking about is balancing people working to make your life convenient. Yeah, that's what I've been. Yeah, I assumed that's how I interpreted what the cardiologist said when he said work-life balance. I think he meant balance everyone's life around my work. I think that's what he meant. Does the NHS have to work from home? Not if I need a doctor's appointment, obviously not. But if I mean, like today, I don't need to go to the doctors. So maybe keep one person on call in case I have an accident. But otherwise, yeah, work from home until I need you. I don't see a downside. Perhaps keep an ambulance stationed at the end of my driveway, just in case. But otherwise, just go about your lives. It's fine. We're shuffling all of this around, trying to come up with something that's going to lead to a goal for us, maybe. Let's all go to B&M. Oh, I'd love that. Meet up at B&M. That would be a great meetup. Forget Comic-Con meetups. We're going to do a meetup at B&M as soon as all this pandemic nonsense is over. What's on the FA Cup this weekend? Do you think Posh will survive? It's all struggle versus Bristol Rovers as Posh haven't played for 3 weeks. No, I think we'll win comfortably. Because that's what we do. I think the rest will have done us good. Big one by the cinema. Oh, I'm not going all the way to Kettering. I will do the Market Harbour one. That's nearer to where I live. Kettering's when we do. Kettering's for a big shop. Chris Leo and Neko Writing. Thank you very much to both of you for your primes. Yeah, we'll do a meetup at Market Harbour B&M. It's going to be great. Have I got tickets for Comic-Con? No? I assume they'll contact me and give me some at some point. That's usually how these things work. Can we bring back Slavy Spazov from Kettering? I know Sheepdog had him in his save on Twitch, and he wasn't very good. He's at Swindon. 25 years old now. It's, oh, look at the state of him. Oh, Slavy. Where did it all go wrong for you? Vranam, thank you very much for the sub, and also Crazy Brits in for 6 months as well. Thank you. Yeah, we're not signing Slavy Spazov. 25. We're not signing pensioners here. Can you imagine me bringing in a 25-year-old? When your sub gets missed. Did your sub get missed? Fazola, I see it now. Thank you very much for 3 months. Sometimes I miss them. I don't even see it on the... Did it appear in the chat? I don't think... Oh, it did appear in the chat. I must have been looking at something else. Thank you very much for the sub either way, and for the nudge reminding me to thank you. Wish they still had MCM Manchester. I never went to MCM Manchester. I've been to every London and Birmingham one for like the last 10 years probably. But never went to a Manchester one. I used to go to Play Expo in Manchester. I like Manchester. I need an excuse to go to Manchester, but with no Comic-Con there and Play Expo not really existing anymore, I don't really have an excuse to go to Manchester anymore. I don't think I've been to Manchester. In fact, the last time I went was when we went to see Christina Aguilera. And I wanted to go and see that. And me and Pab went to the football museum. But before that, it had been years, I think. What do I think of Kai Corbett, posh youngster? I've only seen him play once. He looked fine. He's not ready for the championship yet. I'm sure he'll be fine eventually. He'll be great in League One next year. Which is nice. Yes, this is the second day of the return of the streams. Of the return of Leamington. Yesterday, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, but also ended up top of the league. So, I would call that overall a positive result. Although, it looks like Fylde have now played their game in hand. They have. So, this is what the league table looks like. 10 games to go. And we're 1 point behind Fylde. We don't play them. We're both on great winning runs. I think we've both won 5 from 5. It's looking like a 2-horse race. Port Vale are dropping off the pace a little bit. After being... Port Vale were top of the league for a lot of the season. But Port Vale are having their little bottle job moment. Just as us and Fylde are hitting form. So, I think it's probably a 2-horse race. We just need to make sure we're the best horse. I mean, if it's a 2-horse race, everyone knows Leamington is now famous for its horse. The Leamington Horse, which I think is a season ticket holder now. Ryan Dean, thank you very much for your prime. Right. I haven't noticed the Premier League youngsters releases yet. In fact, they wouldn't have done it. It's only February. I thought it was later in the season than that. Lemmy the horse. Is that what he's called? Anna sent me a link to a pizza that she doesn't like the look of. With Anna, I can't discuss that on stream because with a pending pizza sponsorship coming up, I can't discuss rival pizzas. So I'm afraid we can't discuss the pizza. Anna's just sent me a disgusting looking pizza, but we can't talk about it because fingers crossed we have a unspecified pizza sponsorship soon. Fabs, thank you very much for the prime. We win our game. I think we can secure a playoff spot. Well, I'd like to do that then. Is it the same company sponsoring? No, this is a pizza from a rival company. Anyone who really pays attention on my Twitter would probably be able to guess what's on the horizon. There's been a pizza place flirting with me for a while, and we're finally getting close to ironing something out, I think. Right. So I don't want to mess up potential pizza negotiations by talking about a rival. It's the life of a content creator. These are the things I have to think about. Free pizza for life. It's not quite that. They did offer us to come down and try their entire Christmas menu before Christmas. But it was just as we were going on holiday. So I was like, no, we can't do that one. But now we actually have a potential deal on the table. Let's come back to it in January and sort out a proper deal. I like a pizza. Petition to sign Calvert-Lewin for Leamington. Why not? Well, as you've put Calvin Lewin, which I guess is his cousin or something. Oh, that's a lovely goal. So you refuse to play a strong team in a Papa John's trophy. I mean, it's not Papa John's, so it is interesting. Will I be able to talk? We'll have to rename the pizza cup. Imagine if that's in the contract. when I did the was it Chicago Town last year? Who the hell was it? I think it was Chicago Town, but it might not have been. One of the frozen pizza things I did a campaign with for the Euros. I was still allowed to talk about Papa John's then because they weren't frozen pizzas. But imagine, because this is pizza, not frozen pizza. They're like, you just can't say the name of any rival pizza companies. We're just gonna have to rename the Papa John's cup. That would be amazing. Yeah, just call it the pizza cup. Right. Why do we keep getting red cards in big games? I'm so fed up of it. Berry's gonna have to come off. I don't want him there. Don't worry. That looked for a moment like I was doing something fancy. Allow me to clarify. It was a misclick. Right, we'll do that. Oh, we scored a goal as well. What is it with me missing goals at the moment? I swear we scored a minute ago. Change it to your pizza sponsors cup. I don't know if that would be a legal problem as well, potentially. Just call it the whatever its official name is, the EFL trophy, isn't it? Just take the sponsor off. Just like how nobody says Emirates FA Cup. Just call it, I'm sure it's called the EFL trophy. Would you get the same said pizza brand on the in-game banners? What, in the EFL trophy? I'd just not show EFL trophy games. Because, yeah, they might have in-game sponsorship as well. Although there's nothing I can do to control that. They know the game I play. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to control that. Yeah, I did see us score again that time. Which is good, because we do need to win this football match. Filed are drawing at home to Kingstonian. Kingstonian are down in 18th place, so you would expect Filed to go ahead in that game. In fact, Kingstonian are now winning. Are Filed doing the bottle job? That's amazing if they are. Timothy, thank you for the raid. If you've come over from Tom's stream, you're welcome. Oh, Tom. He asks for it. It's his own fault. He's asking for it. How are you all? We're continuing our YouTube save. We're at Leamington. Filed got auto-promoted to the NFL on Saturday. What? What do you mean? Is this Patrick Vieira raiding? Yeah, exactly. I'm having dinner now. Entertain me. Oh, okay. I'll entertain you. Kev, you're the Chicago Town pizza champion with my Magnificent Meat Feast. I am. I won the Euros. I mean, England might have bottled it in the final, but Team Magnificent Meat Feast did win the Euros. It's a new camera and a new lens, Tom. This is how I spent this year's 2 game money. linked me to a ridiculously expensive camera. Strug, thank you very much for the Prime. I find it funny you were Team Meat Feast after all those vegan videos you did. Yeah, I know. It was right. They did because my management folk. I always feel like too much of a wang to say my management company folk did say they opened the email about that campaign with are you still vegan? Because we've got a pizza thing. They do have a vegan option. They basically lied. They explained the pizza euros thing that we were doing and said, you can have a vegan one if you're still vegan. And basically the concept of it was the further into it I got, the more stories I had to post on Instagram, and I got paid per story. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do a vegan one. That's not going to win. I think I got first pick. I'll have the meat feast, please, because that one's obviously going to win. So I took that one because I wanted to get paid more. And then we defeated Tubes, amongst others. Daniel Stacey, thank you very much for 7 months. There you go. That is actually quite a good result. Bearing in mind we were down to 10 men. That's the kind of game we could have really started our bottle job decline. But if Fylde managed to lose, they did. Did Port Vale lose? They drew. Oh, that's looking good, boys and girls. I like it. I really like it. Which, interestingly, is the script I've got to say for the new pizza thing. GR Muck. GRMUK. Gurmuck. Thank you for the Prime. 2 months as well. Beautiful. Thank you very much. And Imperfect273 is in with a Prime as well. Thank you to both of you. Who do we play next? Darn it. That feels like they should be a good team in non-league. Shows what I know. Down in 19th place. I'm a little bit worried about David Roberts. Because we're going to lose him next season. Because obviously he's only back with us on loan. I wonder if we can extend that loan now to take us through to the end of next season. We don't have the money to do it. Oh, come on, West Brom. It's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Oh, we don't have the money to... We need to extend that loan. I don't want to have to live in a world without David Roberts. Casanova 17, thank you for the Prime. And also the Top Scranner, thank you for 2 months as well. What's my go-to pizza order? I'm a Four Seasons man. I really like a Four Seasons, but last time I went to Pizza Express, it wasn't on the menu anymore, I don't think. I was very upset, but I love a Four Seasons. I like olives on a pizza, but I don't like to be overwhelmed with olives. I like to be able to have a mouthful that has some olive in, but also be able to have a mouthful that doesn't have any olive in, and the Four Seasons is the route to success, if that's what you're going for. So I am a big Four Seasons fan. Right, Sam Blair's just going to leave. We don't want him. Yeah, we'll sell you. Frenchie's our boy. We want Frenchie's goalkeeping from yesterday. All about Frenchie's lovely goalkeeping. Have I got a senior affiliate? I haven't, because I don't use affiliates. It's one of the many rules of the save to stop it getting too easy. Old Frenchie flappy hands, exactly. It's the goalkeeper dreams are made of. My favourite pizza place at uni had a Greek pizza. What does a Greek pizza entail? I will correct my posture. What goes into a Greek pizza? What's that, like feta cheese on it? Does that even melt? I need to know more about a Greek pizza. We've got Chelsea away in the FA Cup this weekend. Unreal draw for us. Who is us? Oh, Chesterfield. I saw the end of your thing. Chesterfield are away at Chelsea. That is a great draw for Chesterfield. Do I want to sell Livermore? No, I don't. We're using him a lot. That would be madness. That's a money spinner for Chesterfield away at Chelsea. Because of the way the money split works in the FA Cup. That's like a £500,000 match. I don't know what the financial situation is like at Chesterfield these days, but that is, especially in these COVID times, away against Chelsea is massive. Oh, Pumpster's in. How are we doing this afternoon? We're doing very well. Thank you very much. How are you? I like Wade's come in and said, he didn't say what I thought he said. Ignore me. That sentence was going somewhere else. He said peeps. I thought he said something else. I translated it into something else in my head. I don't read people's actual sentences. Am I changing the rules and non-used legends for this now? It's a Road to Glory save. I mean, the only rule I'm changing is we're not going to leave the club. Everything else stays the same. So we're still not going to use player search. We're still going to play on full difficulty, full realism mode, with the one exception that we're not going to accept any job offers to go anywhere else. That's the only change. Posh are at home to Bristol Rovers. I think I'm like 90% sure we're at home. I'm now checking my calendar. So I'm planning on going. If it happens. If it's not really cold. We'll see. I'll probably watch it in my office as usual. Rango, thank you very much for 3 months. Kidderminster playing Reading instead of us. They clearly just want like an easier game and no TikTok terrorization. Oh my word. I mean, I've been the victim of your TikTok terrorization before when I posted the Nuneaton video ages ago. Before we even started this save, back when we were mere whippersnappers, and I posted my video of when I went down to Nuneaton, and you lot were on me. On me! True fan of the fair weather variety. Absolutely, I am. Fair weather and proud. Look, I live an hour away from Peterborough now. Not quite an hour. But still, it's a long drive. I don't really want to do like a 2-hour round trip, sit in the cold around a bunch of people not wearing masks, and come back with COVID, a chill, and a defeat. It's just not my idea of a nice time. And I'm paying to watch it from home as well. It's not like they're not making their money out of me. I give them, I think it's £25 a month now for the new Posh online service, which gives me all the matches as long as I'm not in the UK, which, as you all know, I live in Massachusetts. So I can watch all of those games from my house in Massachusetts. I absolutely don't use NordVPN to pretend I'm there. The greatest VPN of all. Exclamation mark NordVPN. I actually genuinely live there, if anyone from Peterborough United is watching. For the rest of you, get NordVPN, because then you can watch football and stuff. And you can watch Netflix as if it's in the US. Am I still living in... The address that I use when I'm registering for stuff as an American is a McDonald's in Bourne in Massachusetts. Yes, I am still living in Bourne, and it's a McDonald's address that I use. If you Google McDonald's in Bourne, Massachusetts, that address is registered with a lot of football clubs and online services of various kinds as my US address. My go-to US zip code is the Pentagon. That's not as cool as mine, is it? I wish it was McDonald's in Bourne. Take a time for me to leave Bourne, USA, still trying to get those playoffs. Yeah, exactly. But this shouldn't be being made public. I mean, what are they going to do? Say no, Kev, please don't give us £25 a month. All the football clubs with these online services, iFollow and all that kind of stuff. Posh aren't with iFollow anymore. It's something else. I can't remember what it's called. They all know the majority of the people are watching it via VPNs. They're happy. They're getting, as long as they're getting paid, their choices are this. They can either accept that 90% of the people watching are doing it within 20 miles of the ground on a VPN, or they can ban everyone who's doing that and just have everyone pirate it for free. I think the club would rather get their £25 a month out of me. So, yeah, they're doing their bit. As far as their licensing requirements to the EFL go, they're restricting it to people outside the UK. If people are then using a VPN to get around that, the club is still getting paid. No one's doing anything illegal. It's all good. Harsh Marsh, thank you for the Prime. Posh happened to be on here with the purpose of catching me, then they've earned the catch. Yeah, exactly. If I knew what a VPN was, he'd be totally on board. I mean, let's face it, our owner lives in Florida. Are you telling me that he's not fully familiar with how VPNs work? Of course he is. You can guarantee when we're on Sky, he's on a VPN watching it, checking what's going on. My VPN is in Germany. Very nice, CJ. Not as cool as being in Massachusetts. I mean, I've done mine in America just because I use some American TV services as well. Or have done. I've not currently got any at the moment. But it's just easier to just have the same one for everything. So if I get caught big. I move around the world depending on what service I'm using. Right, we're going to have to demand more here. We should be beating Barnet. This is not okay. Yeah, Paramount Plus is a good shout. Hulu. There are certainly services in America that are worth VPNing for. And if you use a VPN and a fake address and PayPal, which doesn't cross-reference the address on your PayPal, so you don't have to put in, because if you use a credit card, it has to be registered an address in the US as well. Whereas if you do it via PayPal, it doesn't check where your card or your address are based. So you can pay by PayPal that's registered with a UK credit card and a UK address, put your US address in, VPN it to make it look like you're in the US. Bob's your uncle. You do it for HBO Max, you do it for everything. Well, that was a very disappointing match. Barnet down to 10 men, and we weren't able to find a way past them. If you pay the bill, you shouldn't be a problem. Exactly. We don't have Paramount Plus in the UK, no. So when they put all the Warner movies went on there, didn't they? So I think there was a DC movie that I watched on that. I wanted to be able to watch it, and I don't pirate stuff. Filed lost again, did they? Good. Hopefully Port Vale is still crumbling as well. And right at the start of the pandemic, Frozen 2 went on Disney Plus in America, but wasn't on Disney Plus in the UK, so we VPN'd to watch Frozen 2 on US Disney Plus. There's lots of uses for it. Who am I looking for? Filed. Filed lost 4-1 against Aldershot. Port Vale lost 2-1 to Kings Lynn. So although we only drew, we actually extended our lead at the top of the table, which is beautiful. Paramount Plus should apparently be released in the UK in the next couple of months. I know Peacock's just appeared here, which I'm not sure what impact that's going to have on the WWE network, because I know in America, WWE network doesn't exist anymore, and that's all on Peacock. But here we've now still got original WWE network, but we also now have Peacock as well, which I don't think has the wrestling on. So I guess it's a licensing thing. They're waiting for something to expire or something. All the licensing stuff's so complicated, because I know Disney Plus was late launching here, I think, because of something to do with Sky. And I don't really remember all the details, but from what I remember, I think Disney Plus launched here later than in the US because of Sky, and I don't really understand how it was. I think Sky must have had the licenses to certain movies, and they were waiting for those licenses to expire. It's all so confusing. WWE Network won't be on Peacock anytime soon here. BT has the WWE contract. Okay, there you go then. That explains that. Right, I don't care about Gilks' loan contract. Badger Wade, thank you very much for the Prime. Sky had the rights to the Disney movies. There you go. That was the reason then. It's all very complicated. Like I say, this started out as a quick momentary advert and has turned into quite an interesting discussion. Bottom line, to get around all this licensing nonsense, VPN, NordVPN, exclamation mark NordVPN. It's super. Been watching you for ages. I'm a wrestler myself. Nice. As you can see, I'm the best in the world, so I'd probably be able to beat you. But very cool. Can see me on the WWE network. Nice. Disney Plus hates Sky. Everyone hates Sky, don't they? I mean, I've had Sky for 20 years and I hate Sky. Sky's rubbish. Oh, I hate Sky. It's so expensive for so little in return. It's like, what is it? Like £70 a month just to be able to watch a few football matches. So much more expensive than BT or Amazon as the equivalent. Everyone hates Sky. I would love for Amazon to get the exclusive rights to all the football because the Amazon coverage is awesome. Now TV is the answer. The thing with Now TV is it's just an extra layer of faff. The one thing I like about Sky, with Sky Q, this isn't a Sky advert. I don't like them. Don't get Sky. But it's cool. We've got the Sky. We've got 4 Sky Q boxes in our house, so we can just watch Sky on any TV, watch all of our services on them, record TV from them, watch the football anywhere in the house. It's just easy, and it wouldn't be quite so easy with Now TV. I don't think. Bearing in mind, I've had Sky since ITV Digital collapsed, so I don't really know how Now TV works. I've never used it. That ages me there. We have Sky Glass. Spoiler alert, don't bother. We looked at it very briefly. When Sky Glass was announced, we very briefly looked at it, and immediately Anna turned her nose up to it because it's only on one screen at the moment, isn't it? It's one TV that's smaller than our TV that we've got. She was like, well, why would I want a smaller TV? Sky Glass is Sky but built into a telly, and it's all over the internet rather than being through a dish. But it's only one like 42-inch TV at the moment, which is dumb because if you've got the money to burn on filed out playing, if you've got the money to burn on a fancy TV with Sky built in, surely you'd want a bigger screen. Oh, it does come bigger now. There's a 65-inch one now, apparently. I guess when it first launched, it was only on one screen. But does it still work like Sky Q? Like, I watch 90% of the football that I watch in my office on one of the mini boxes. We have the main Sky Q box on the main TV. I have a TV in here that I watch most of my football on. Would it work like that with Sky Glass, or are you limited to just one room? Because that seems like a step back. Rated, not rated. Thank you for the sub. Who are Port Vale playing today? Port Vale are playing Cheltenham and Fylde are not playing. So Cheltenham are not very good. We're playing Newport, who are also not great. We just need to keep on winning. We're in a situation now where we just have to keep on winning football matches. We've got the hiccups, and as long as we keep on winning them, we'll get promoted. Oh, I've got the hiccups. I'm like a giant baby. Who has hiccups? It's 2022. Who has hiccups anymore? What is this? Siri's actually answering that question. Apparently babies have hiccups. Many babies even get hiccups in the womb. If you felt a rhythmic jerking sensation during late pregnancy, it could have been your baby hiccuping. Thanks, Siri. Glad you're listening all the time. Goodness me. Right. That's just... Siri did just call me a baby, that's right. So you can get Sky Glass to work in other rooms, okay. You can get a box that has everything on one-time fee of 150. What, as part of Sky? Are we still talking about Sky Glass? You get the Sky mini boxes and connect it to the Sky Glass. So it's basically the same as Sky Q, okay. I don't really see a reason for us to upgrade. Sky's been very average over the last couple of years. Being a cricket fan, having neither the Ashes or the West Indies tour this winter is so disappointing. But to be fair, considering how it's gone, maybe not watching the Ashes is better than watching it. That's on BT, isn't it? It is. I guess that's the... I'm here bashing Sky But I guess it is probably a worse situation now. People always say competition improves stuff. But back when you paid for Sky and got everything, I guess from a consumer perspective, that was better than now. To be able to watch all the football this year, you have to have Sky, BT, and Amazon Prime, which I guess is not ideal. You get more information when you go to the Sky shop. I feel like I'm being sold to now. Amazon is cheap. Yeah, I mean, everyone has Amazon anyway, presumably. It's all falling apart, isn't it? Champions League. Remember the Champions League on ITV? Those are those. I do remember the Champions League on ITV. What a crazy world. Port Vale are being slapped, are they? So we're all bottling. It's a traditional FM22, everyone bottle at the same time situation. That's all right then. As long as we're all losing. And those glorious days when I could watch the wrestling on Sky as well. Whereas now I need BT Sport and AEW Plus on Fight TV to be able to watch it all. Or at least to be able to watch it at a reasonable time. I am aware you can watch AEW for free on ITV, but it's like 3 weeks after it's been on telly. Oh, this isn't good. Ah, Frenchie! Oh, beautiful work. Frenchie is our hero. Come on, Frenchie. Don't need BT for wrestling because WWE isn't watchable. Yeah, to be fair, I've not watched any WWE since WrestleMania. I still keep up to date with what's going on, but I haven't actually watched it since WrestleMania. My left back's getting terrorized. He's our club record signing. Come on, boys. Encourage them. I don't encourage in the first half. First half, they're on their own. Oh, that's a lovely goal. That's the reason we were able to buy Chiesa, because we sold Gilks for 150,000 to Coventry, reinvested the money, £7,000 in Chiesa, and then got Gilks on loan. Tried day one. Uso's New Day was good. Yeah, see, I haven't watched any of it. I watched a little bit of the main event on YouTube. I think it was a short clip or Twitter or somewhere. I saw a little clip of the main event. That's it. Just not interested enough. I've only got so much capacity in my week for fitting wrestling in. I don't even watch Rampage most weeks because 2 hours is about my limit for how much time I've got to watch wrestling. So I tend to just watch Dynamite and keep track of everything else through Wrestling Observer or Wrestle Talk. Archduke Melon, thank you for 19 months. Right. What are we going to do here to try and win this football match? Forget about the defence. Defending is for losers. We don't need defenders. No good football ever came from defenders. We are going to bring on all the attackers, though, and try and change the game with attackers. Attackers win football matches. Defenders are for nerds. How am I enjoying the network save? I'm enjoying it rather a lot. Winning the league with Everton in the first season is going to be a glorious thing. Oh, Mo Isa, he's in! He scores! We're going up as bleeping champions. Woodard, thank you very much for 9 months. Oh, we're very close to 400 subs again. Beautiful. Ben's meltdown will be a glorious thing when that happens. I mean, if we can time it right, with this week off, because Zealand's off gallivanting, we might be able to time it right so I can win the network game and win the Streamer Showdown in the same week. Ooh, that would ruin his January, wouldn't it? Oh. So there'll be the showdown draft on the Wednesday. I'll spend the whole of Thursday getting mocked for how bad my draft was, whilst winning the Premier League with #Keverton. That's not ideal. And then Sunday night, win the Streamer Showdown. Boom. I've been scouting for the Streamer Showdown. Not necessary. Will there be 2 network games next week? No. Wouldn't have thought so. I'm saying no. I don't think there will be. If you want both in the same week, they'd just cancel FM and declare me the ultimate winner. I mean, the fact that hasn't already happened, I find a little bit alarming. Oh, that's not... Oh, I just clicked a pervert button. This is the one I was aiming for. Dave Beasley, thank you for 3 months. 2022 would be a bust for Ben within the first month. I know. He won't invite me to the showdown now. Oh, are we going to lose this game? Port Vale are now level against Cheltenham. Oh, in fact, Cheltenham have just scored again against Port Vale. Perfect. Now, if we can grab a late winner, if we can do a Cheltenham, I think it's called, Fylde will go and win their game in hand now. Don't give away a penalty. Don't give away a... Everyone's battling it. Would I pull any surprise tactics for the Streamer Showdown? It's not needed. Just do the right things nice and simple, and that's enough. You don't need to do fancy stuff. Everyone else falls down by trying to do fancy stuff. I think Port Vale got a late equaliser as well. Oh, the tension. Yeah, so Port Vale drew, I think. Where are they? Port Vale drew, despite being down to 10 men. Fylde now have the game in hand, but we've got the better goal difference. So as long as we're still in the situation where if we win every game, we go up as champions. But we have lost a little bit of our nice little cushion that we had before. Does Dr. Ben own the Streamer Showdown? I think Ben and Matt own it between them. Legally. The company that is the Streamer Showdown. Yeah, Port Vale have played an extra game. I don't know how or when, but they have. So we're not worried about Port Vale. It's Fylde that we're worried about. We just need to... I mean, the whole of non-league is on board with us denying Fylde. No one wants Fylde to go up. Who's in this year's showdown? I don't know yet. Don't even know if I'm in the first one. I would like to think I will be, but... who knows? How's it been getting back into FM after the Christmas holidays? It's been like just slipping back into a comfortable pair of trousers, as the old saying goes. I mean, it's just normal, isn't it? I found myself at various points being so bored. Luckily, I had the Guardians of the Galaxy game to keep me amused, and I played some Total Extreme Wrestling. But my natural habitat for the last 25 years of my life has been playing Football Manager. So forcing myself not to play it for a couple of weeks was weird. And it's just, everything's back to normal now. I'm playing FM all day, the way things should be. Really want you on the lowdown. I think it's your time to be a pundit. Well, I've been learning football this year, because the reason I've never been on it is because Ben thinks I don't know enough about football to be able to do it, which is a fair point. Especially if we're outside, even now, if we're outside of the Premier League, I ain't going to know who these players are. I got mocked in the chat, in the comments on the video the other day for not knowing who Evan Nielsen is. I still don't really know. Apparently he plays for Porto. If he walked in here now, I wouldn't know who he was. I could just about talk about Premier League players now because I've been paying attention. But I just don't watch... international football, European football. I don't watch any of that. I'm not interested. There's your posture check. Think you know more than the actual pundits? I think I probably do. Certainly I can give more of a how to win the Streaming Showdown insight than any of the rest of them can. What good wrestling games are there now? There aren't any, really. Total Extreme Wrestling's the closest, but that's a clunky mess. It's my clunky mess, and I enjoy it. What's the worst challenges about being a full-time FMer? Doing the actual work, the job, there's nothing bad about it. It's brilliant. I love it. The only downsides come from just your typical being self-employed, running your own business downsides. Unpredictable, fluctuating income is a source of constant stress. Knowing that my income is going to be very cyclical over the course of the years is stressful. That's the only downsides, really. Knowing that I'll earn 6 or 7 times as much in November as I will in July. But the actual work, I couldn't think of a downside. I love it. Imagine Kev as a pundit on a Tom versus Zealand final. I mean, it just seems so unrealistic for either of them to reach a final. I want a football manager game, but for wrestling. That's what Total Extreme Wrestling is. That's why I say it's fine, but it is very clunky. Oh, my old man eyes can't read that. Wilco. I couldn't work out if it was Wilco or Wicco. Thank you very much. We're losing again. We're bottling hard, but so is everybody else. This is just the way title chases go in FM22, I've found. Any kind of promotion push goes like this. Everyone just starts bottling it. In your opinion, what's been your worst series to date? The first Non-League to Legend, probably. Or Nuneaton. Were we an early one? I'd like to think, by and large, every series has been better than the one before it. Chivas and Born USA were good series. They just weren't popular. I think it depends how you define the question. I mean, if you sat down someone who'd never heard of me and got them to watch the first 5 videos of Non-League to Legend, the first one, and the first 5 videos of Chivas, they're going to say, yeah, obviously Chivas is much better. Same with Born in the USA. The more recent stuff is much better than the older stuff. But that doesn't necessarily match up with the popularity of them. More often than not, it's a game about thumbnails and titles and clickable ideas. There's no coincidence the channel has taken an explosion since I've started doing thumbnails properly. If you look at where my channel started to really take off this last year, it coincides exactly with the thumbnails getting better. You think we'll start avoiding Peter and Arsenal on this Legend in the future? No. I think just naturally sometimes there'll be repeats, but there'll be times when I repeat clubs. I think it adds too much restriction to it to start saying, well, I can't manage anyone I've managed before. I've never managed anyone more than twice. There's quite a lot of teams I've managed twice now, but this is the 7th year of doing Non-League to Legend. There's going to be repeat clubs. But yeah, I'd like to think we won't end up doing the same thing every year. But even so, doing Peterborough this year compared to Peterborough last year, it's a very different experience. So I think it's fine. And it certainly doesn't seem to be causing any problems with people being interested in it. There's more I'm getting more views on it this year than I did last year.
Happy New Year, Kevin.
Ashazan, thank you very much. And thank you for the Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. So it's really all about marketing. Would a save series where you basically put celebrities on the pitch and manage them, not footballers, give the ultimate thumbnail marketing power? Yes. It's absolutely about marketing. It's about search engine optimization and marketing. Oh, have we hit 400 subs? Hooray! Thank you very much, boys and girls. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You started avoiding repeat clubs, it would take away some of the realism. Yeah, exactly. Like you explained last year when you left Posh for a relegation zone Arsenal, you'd always make that move. Yeah, exactly. And they were the only team making that offer, because that's the thing. Like, this time around, if I'd have been offered Posh and a similar club in a similar situation at the same time, then I probably would have leaned towards doing the club I'd never managed before. But in the circumstances, they were the only club making an offer. Viridis, thank you very much for the sub. Can we get an equalizer, please, gentlemen? Oh, that's so annoying. What database am I using? It's just the standard vanilla FM. Surely it's what you do in real life. You'd go with Posh anyway. No, I'd go with whatever was the better opportunity. I reckon you'll three-peat a team this year. Probably Spurs, as they don't seem to do well on this year's FM. I mean, I think I've done Barcelona and Bayern Munich twice before as well. I'd quite like to go abroad this year because we didn't last year. I think if you count the Barcelona standalone series, I think I've managed Barcelona on YouTube 3 times now. I think. So we could end up at Barcelona again. My old man's currently pricing the new fencing at Leamington. Nice. Thank you very much for the Prime. Have I ever managed Coventry? I haven't. Coventry would have been the perfect job for Non-League Legend this year. I really wanted the Coventry job because it would just seemed like logical progression from Leamington. When we sold a player to Coventry and then loaned him back as well, we were starting to build a relationship with Coventry. And it felt like it would have made perfect storyline sense for me to end up managing Coventry, but then we've kind of leapfrogged over them to Peterborough. And see you getting Newcastle offer at some point with the way they seem to go through managers on this year's FM. I'd enjoy that. That would be very cool. I mean, the Newcastle one's quite an interesting situation as well, because let's say 5 years down the line, I'm in the Premier League. Say I'm in the bottom half of the Premier League managing somebody. Newcastle are in the Championship and offer me the job and offer me a pay rise because they're super rich. I can see the comments section now being furious. You'd never take that job in real life. Yes, I would. Absolutely, I would. If they're going to treble my salary, absolutely, I would. Twitch stream seems to be growing. Do you think you'll keep it going now? Well, I've been streaming on Twitch regularly for years. It is growing, which is nice. I think the network game has helped massively with that. I think there's probably a lot of people here now who are watching because they've discovered I'm not as much of a wang as they thought I was off the back of the network game, which is nice. Welcome. This is a problem. Yeah, the plan is to keep going with Twitch until they disappear up their own backsides and we all go to YouTube. I can vouch. You ain't a wang. Thank you. You're plenty of a wang. I realise I'm very wangy, but I'm not quite as bad as I think my reputation was before. I've ever thought about streaming on YouTube. I've thought about it a lot. It's a discussion I have with lots of people regularly. It's something I think about regularly. But at the moment, there's the whole fear of having all my eggs in one basket, which I don't really want to do, because words, man, words. I've been through 2 adpocalypses now on YouTube. I don't really want to go for a third if it's my only source of income. That would be terrifying. And also at the moment, as a football manager streamer, There's too many reasons to stay on Twitch. If I go to YouTube, I can't be in a streamer showdown. If I go to YouTube, I can't be in the network game. If I go to YouTube, I'm basically trying to carve my own path rather than steal viewers from Zealand and Ben, like I'm doing here. So there's far more reasons to stay on Twitch at the moment than there is to go to YouTube. What I expect will happen at some point a year or two down the line is we'll all move over together. I think that's the only way it makes sense. And when I say all, I mean like the whole Streamer Showdown crew all move over together. Probably at the start of an FM cycle at some point. And I think that's the only way it works. We're not a big enough community to split us across multiple platforms. I think we all have to go together. And I think that will happen at some point, probably. I think YouTube is making steps towards filling in the gaps that Twitch has. Like you can do clips on YouTube now. They're a little bit clunky still, but they'll get better. They're bringing in gifted memberships, which was one of the big reasons why people didn't like YouTube compared to Twitch. And obviously YouTube has much better discoverability and search, and you can have your shorts and your videos and your VODs and your streams all together in the same place. They need to make it so that having stream VODs on a channel doesn't wreck the algorithm for the videos on the channel, so we don't all have to have a main channel and a live channel and a shorts channel and a clips channel. They need to fix that so you can have it all in one place. But they'll do that, and at some point they'll do it, and everyone will move over. Do they have raids yet? They don't, but I honestly don't really care if they have raids or not. I don't really think raids make a difference. I mean, I don't know. People seem to feel like raids are massively beneficial to people. I just don't think they are. I don't ever think I've seen a situation where someone has been raided and then next stream they've got more average viewers than they had on the stream they were raided on. So yeah, it might bring in a few vanity metrics at the time. You might get a little spike in your viewership for 5 minutes before everybody leaves, and you might pick up a few new followers who never come back. But I don't think raids is an efficient way of bringing in long-term consistent new viewers. Whereas having an algorithm that pushes content out to people who might want to see it, which is what YouTube have, far more efficient. Much better way to bring in new viewers to a channel. Do I think Twitch is a dying platform? Kinda. I think they certainly need to make some changes. The key thing Twitch need is a discoverability algorithm. And until they've got that, they are going to struggle. I'm just going to withdraw all of these. I hope this doesn't upset them all, but we need them. We're in a promotion push. You're not going on international duty. Does Twitch still force ads when you raid onto a channel? Yes. Unless you're subbed, which again is dumb. The only people I follow on Twitch are people from YouTube, which is a concern. I mean, that's the truth for most people, I think. I know we're on Twitch now and it seems silly to bash them while we're all here, but I don't know about you lot, but I'm never sat there bored and think, I really want to watch something. I'll go and see what's on Twitch. And maybe some people do. I'll go and see what's on YouTube. The only time I ever watch anything on Twitch is if someone from another platform, whether it's Twitter or YouTube, usually Twitter or YouTube, I'm old, they're basically the only ones I use, tell me that they're live on Twitch and I should come and watch them. And then I'll come over. But I don't just load Twitch up to see what's here. And if I did, I'm only going to end up with the same places that I already know about. I'm not going to find anything new doing that. I'm not knocking people watching Twitch. I'm knocking Twitch in general. I love the fact that you like here watching on Twitch. It's brilliant. Thank you. But I think probably longer term, we'll all be having this conversation on YouTube in a couple of years. Do you ever look at the recommended channels? No. Because they're trash. I mean, let's look at them now, shall we? This is a big criticism of Twitch. Let's see what the recommended channels are. See if any of them are related to anything I might want to watch. So Twitch. Hello Twitch. How you doing? So we've got somebody just full screen playing a piano. Is this what you mean by recommended channels? They've got a giraffe in their background and they're eating cereal or noodles or something. That guy, we can see the back of his head while he looks at his computer. She's playing Grand Theft Auto, which came out, what, 7 years ago? And another one. I'm not interested in this. If you mean this bit, when you say recommended channels, then I don't know who they are. I'm not going to watch them. I certainly don't want to watch The Long Dark or Sheila, who's just chatting for 127 people. I like the fact that my 2 online friends are both watching me. Excellent. Good work, online friends. But yeah, the only place I'd ever look is here. I'm never going to look down here. I don't need to know who these people are. Whereas on YouTube, let's bring YouTube up. Where you're going to see the kind of weird stuff that I watch on YouTube. If I go on YouTube, straight away it's showing me things that I would actually like to watch. I like van life videos. So there's van life videos for me, or there's a wrestling video for me, or a Spider-Man video for me. That's not the new Being the Elite. That's last week's one, which apparently I haven't watched yet. There's Loki doing some Football Manager. There's some Meet Kevin talking about stocks and things. I watch pretty much every video Sarah Dietschy puts out. There's stuff here for me. There's a nice selection of things that I've watched before. I don't know who this guy is, but I like watching stuff about productivity and workspaces and stuff, so I can see why it's recommended to me. Don't know who they are, but I like straight away that thumbnail means I know I like that kind of content. I don't know who this guy is, but it's a van. I'll watch anything with a van in the thumbnail. It's just immediately recommending content that I want to watch. And that's the difference between the two platforms. There was 5 videos there that I could have started watching straight away. And once they were done, it would automatically serve me up for the next one that it also knows I want to watch. It's brilliant. The YouTube algorithm is great. You won't watch Sheila, but you'll watch a van. Because I don't know anything about Sheila. All I know is Sheila's streaming to 127 people in just chatting. I don't know what Sheila's talking about. It's the same reason I've not gone on my sub box on YouTube for about 3 years. Which, please always go in your sub boxes at 4 o'clock so you know my video's out. But me as a viewer, I've not watched anything out of my sub box for years. I go on YouTube, I look on recommended, I watch one of those 8 videos, and then I watch the next one. YouTube is completely in control of what I watch. Ben, thank you very much for the 2 months. Sheila might be talking about vans, but the important thing is, I don't know, which is why I'm not watching her. I mean, you raise a great point. She might be talking about vans, but because Twitch is so clunky, I don't know. Sheila's talking about vans. Well, then, you know, Twitch should be telling me she's talking about vans. Can you stream? Yeah, you can stream on YouTube. And that's where the conversation started. That's why I think ultimately we will all end up streaming there. But at the moment, there's too many reasons not to. Not least of which is the fact that the ecosystem on YouTube and the attitude, the culture of YouTube is very much expecting content for free. So as a content creator, it's difficult to go over there and try and convince people to become a channel member or gift a membership or do a super chat for a donation or something. And you're not going to make full-time money streaming just through adverts running every now and again. So to be a streamer, you kind of need to have a community that's supporting you and paying for your content. And the culture on Twitch is to do that. The culture on YouTube is to not do that. So even if I was streaming to this exact same group of people with this exact same stream on YouTube, I don't know how many subs we've picked up today. I mean, Twitch Prime is a massive reason to carry on on Twitch. YouTube need an equivalent of that. But I have picked up on this stream so far, I think this number's tracked somewhere. So far we have had 29 new subs. I've been streaming an hour. There's not a chance I go to YouTube and get 29 new channel members in an hour. Even if I'm streaming to 2,000 people rather than nearly 1,000. Which I probably would. Whenever I stream on YouTube, there's always way more people there. But I wouldn't make the same money. Even though there'd be more people, I'd make less money. I don't think the thought of paying money on YouTube has ever crossed my mind. Exactly. And you have been a 2-month subscriber. So, exactly. That's kind of the point. So, do you only get about £2 per sub? Yeah, it's about that, I think. How would YouTube Premium work with streaming? Would you still need a membership to a streamer to avoid ads? No. That's the thing. I remember when they were launching YouTube Premium and channel memberships and stuff, they kind of all came out at the same time. And I went down to a big meeting at Google in London about it. There was like 80 creators there, I think. And that was the question I asked in the Q&A. Why is this not on an individual channel by channel basis? Why are you doing YouTube Premium as a thing that only YouTube benefit from, that removes ads across the board? Why don't you follow Twitch's model and have channel memberships take ads away for individual channels? And they didn't have a good answer for it. But that's the big reason to sub on Twitch, to get rid of the ads. And on YouTube, you can get rid of the ads across the board, across the entire site, for the price of like 2.5 channel memberships. So, I've had this argument with YouTube. Lamgwin, thank you very much for the sub. Andy, thank you for the sub as well. 10 months. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Shunt the Competition, thank you for the sub. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Twitch Turbo also takes off the ads across the board for £9 or so. I mean, would it surprise you to know that as a Twitch partner of like 5 years or so, I have no idea what you're talking about? Because Twitch has no communication with its creators at all. I have a person at YouTube that I can contact if I have a problem. I do not have a person at Twitch. It's another reason why YouTube is better for creators. I have never had that communicated to me by Twitch. And I didn't know it existed. My YouTube Premium is free with Game Pass currently. Shame that I can't get a youth player included. Exactly. I work in marketing. I tell a lot of my clients to just copy the systems of market leaders and they just want to be different. It's so annoying. Because the way it worked on Twitch, if YouTube had brought that out 3 years ago where they brought out memberships and premium, we'd be having this conversation on YouTube, I imagine. I don't think they really want people paying for Turbo. It's so weird, isn't it? Why does it exist then? Don't they also do that thing where instead of subbing, you can pay to boost the channel or something? I don't even remember. Is that the same thing? That was the worst idea Twitch ever had. Rather than giving the creators money, you can boost them on the platform, but they don't earn any money from it. Well, no, thank you. Please don't boost me. Please pay my rent. I don't want boosting. I get enough views. Thanks. I kind of need the money more. If you're parting with cash, just give it to me rather than Twitch. I don't want boosting. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted sub. They replaced Turbo features with the Prime stuff and then they added it back in an obscure place. Facebook are going big with subs. I've not really looked at the Facebook streaming ecosystem. I don't think I've ever watched a stream on Facebook. Apart from a few minutes when they offered me a contract like a year ago. And I very quickly saw that it didn't look very good. And it made the contract negotiations interesting. You earn way more on Facebook. Only if you have the contract. If you're just a streamer just going over there, starting from scratch, you're not going to earn very much because you're not going to get very many viewers. Because it's Facebook and people aren't going to Facebook to watch content. As far as I'm aware, I don't know. Maybe there's loads of mums and dads out there who love content. Gondor, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. That's very kind of you. Much appreciated. You don't get that on YouTube. You literally can't do that on YouTube yet. So thank you. Am I allowed to say what the contract was? I mean, I didn't sign it, so presumably. I won't give you exact numbers. It was more. They offered me more money than I was earning when I was a head of faculty in a school to stream there for a year. So it was a big contract. The only problem is they wanted me to stream exclusively there for like 120 hours a month, I think. Whereas even in a really busy month on Twitch, I'll only stream for 50 or 60 hours. That's if I do 5 days a week, all month, I'll stream for like 60 hours. So they wanted double the output. So I'd have had to have streamed for like 8 hours a day every day. And they were going to offer me a full-time salary to do it, but it would have meant I wouldn't have had time to do YouTube, and I couldn't have done Twitch. So it was a nice, secure contract, but far too much content they're asking for it. Jake, thank you for 19 months. We have got to start winning football matches. We are bottling this hard. Magoma's now injured. Yesterday, the key was to talk about something else, and the form got good. Maybe for these last 5 games, we need to focus on the actual football manager. Which goes against everything I stand for. But we're 1 point behind Fylde now, level on points. Port Vale 2 points behind us. We've got the best goal difference. But it is now out of our hands. We could win our last 5 games and still end up in the playoffs now. Because we've had 4 games without a win. 2 points in 4 games, and we're still relatively in the mix. Did Arsenal just score 7 goals? No, I thought that was 7-1 over Man City. That would have been baffling, but no, it was 2-1. That makes a lot more sense. Smudge Cat, thank you for the Prime. I can talk to someone high on Twitch anytime I like. A Scottish streamer she'll always tell me the best way to get something done. What, as in someone who works for Twitch? Presumably that's a personal relationship rather than someone at Twitch has given you that contact. Because like I say, I've been a partner for 5 years, I think. I've never had a conversation with anybody at Twitch. Never been invited to a meeting or an event by Twitch. Whereas I've been down to YouTube Space and Google offices and the YouTube offices in London probably 10 or 12 times over the years for various meetings and things and events. And I have a direct contact that I can talk to whenever I want at YouTube. If I have a problem, I just have to fire them an email. Or, I mean, I presumably could ring them as well. I think I have a phone number, but I'm a millennial. I don't use the phone. Patch, thank you very much for the 3 months. And Mr. Gavlar, thank you for 12 months. There's no way Fylde are not losing in the next 5 games. You would think. You would hope. I watch YouTube literally every day. This is the first time I've seen you being able to drop by the stream. Needed to give you that sub. Thank you very much. She works on Twitch. Just found out browsing Twitch and really funny. Apart from helping women out on Twitch, is nice. Do you and other streamers have a good relationships with Sports Interactive? A while ago they invited you down. Do they still do that? Yeah, we speak to them around the launch of the game every year. We all get the game for free. Yeah, they gave me a couple of copies to give away as well. Theoretically, I can talk to them when I need to. They would be inviting us down there more. But like a few of us got early access as well. There was like a handful of us who got early access to the game this year. They can't do events and stuff down there at the moment, obviously because of the pandemic. But I imagine if there was no pandemic, we'd have been down there quite regularly. So yeah, we have a pretty good relationship. Dracaladier? Thank you for the sub. I can't say your name, but thank you. Any advice for taking the next step in streaming? Depends what step you're on now, to be honest. It's difficult to say without knowing what the current step is. Jay Edwards, thank you very much for the Prime. Yes, people from Sports Interactive do watch the streams. They watch the YouTube videos as well. They do pay attention to what's going on. But yeah, I'd like to think once we're back in a post-COVID world, or when we're in a post-COVID world, we've never been in one before. You know what I mean? Then I imagine they'll start inviting us all down again. You made affiliate a while back. I would suggest the next step is to start making some content somewhere else to start growing your channel. You won't grow the channel just by streaming. The advice I usually give to streamers early on in the journey is, how often do you stream at the moment? Cut that in half. Use that extra time to make YouTube videos to send people to your stream. And spend half your time making YouTube videos and half the time streaming. And your stream will grow quicker because of it. Are they going to fix transfer fee discussions with players? Don't know. I don't talk to them in that kind of detail. We're following your videos for 4 or 5 years on YouTube, recently on Twitch and the Stream Showdown. Fantastic network game. The community is very healthy. Various characters, most of them put a lot of time and effort to create good quality content. You're a great part of that. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Nick. It's a lot of words there, and I managed to get through them all while we were on a continue. I'm impressed with both of us. Thank you. Watch the Sports Interactive office tour. For some reason, didn't expect it to be so big. Turns out it's massive. Yeah, I've not been down to the new office. I've been to the previous 2. They've certainly grown a lot in the 5 years or so since I first went down there. Their original office down on Old Street, that was across 2 floors with a different floor in between them. And it was all very, it wasn't great. It was small and all crammed in. And then they got the one over at Stratford, which had a bar in it. And now they've moved over the street in Stratford and have got an even bigger one that's got a breakfast club below it. And I love the breakfast club. So I am eager to get down there again just as an excuse to go to the breakfast club. Right. Transfer window is closed. It's the 25th of March. I love old school transfer deadline day. We signed 21 players this season. Never change, Kev. Never change. Do you know how well the game is growing? Are they selling more units each year? Yes. My wife's from Germany. I'm surprised not more people play it there. Well, until very recently, you couldn't even get it there. It was one of the countries where the licensing had it blacked out completely, I think. I think that's still a situation in Brazil and Japan. And Germany was one of those countries where you couldn't get it at all. So it's only really been a thing in Germany since they got the Bundesliga license, which is 3 years ago, maybe. But the game is growing massively. They're setting records with every game they release at the moment. Setting records for units sold, playtime. It is in the middle of an explosion. I think the fact so many people have been forced to work from home and have so much time on their hands because of it, Football Manager has definitely benefited from that. I am interested to see what they do with this versus mode that's coming out next year. It's going to be interesting. If they've got some kind of ranked online play with dedicated servers, which is asking for a lot, but it's asking for a lot in terms of Football Manager, but in terms of gaming in general, it's asking them for them to move into 2005. If we get ranked online play with dedicated servers, that'll be huge. I didn't ask you, Siri. Stop listening to everything I say. Ah! Goodness me. We've got to win the next football match. FM on Game Pass is great. I agree. That's been a big thing. Ocoflex is expecting to leave, apparently. When did that happen? What would ranked online play look like in FM? Don't know. That's for them to figure out, I guess. But it's the next step. The idea I presented to Miles about 4 or 5 years ago, the first time I met him, I gave him my idea for how to make Football Manager explode, was ranked online play with dedicated servers, and the way the matches would work is you'd get like a pack opening where you'd get 6 players allocated to you randomly from your pack opening that were roughly evenly matched, and then you'd get to draft the final 5 players or pick them from a list to build out the rest of your squad, and then you'd play against someone. Just to I think it was just after they brought out draft mode, and draft mode is too long and clunky. To do draft mode from start to finish, it's about half an hour. That's too long. If you can shorten that down by only having to do half the draft, because you've got the other half randomly allocated, I think that speeds things along, and you get the bonus of pack opening. Wombat, thank you very much for the Prime. Trying to get a network game across Steam, PC, Game Pass is a nightmare. That's why we need dedicated servers. How's the stream been? The stream has been lovely. The form has been horrible. So I might join Sheila in just chatting. Look at that form. Was she called Sheila? We've lost. Well, we've not won in 4 games, and we're supposed to be trying to win the league. It's gone wrong. Being Ultimate Team for FM. I don't necessarily. I mean, you can't go full Ultimate Team with FM because they don't have the licenses. It wouldn't be like a permanent thing. You wouldn't keep the players that you packed forever. They'd be for that one-off match. But I think you introduce that little bit of mystery box excitement, because if you're trying to bring in a younger audience, which is what online gaming is for, the old folk who already play will just carry on playing the way they always have. Online is all about bringing in that next generation, the younger folk. And they like mystery boxes, LOL boxes, and, you know, little blind bags and Ultimate Team and stickers and cards. The idea of getting something randomly allocated and there being that luck element really appeals to young people. So you add a little element of that whilst keeping some of the structure of what you've already got and adding in the tech to make it work. That was the idea. If that's what they end up doing, I'm suing Miles for not sharing the pennies with me. Spending their parents' money. I'm not suggesting that this would be something you'd have to pay for. I'm suggesting it as a gameplay mechanic. I'm not saying they have to buy packs. I'm saying you have a random element as part of the game, so they get that little dopamine hit from opening a blind bag that kids love. I don't want to see that in any of that in FM. It drove me away from FIFA, and I'd hate to see it on FM. Well, you wouldn't. You'd just see the game you always play. You just don't click on the versus button, and then you don't see it. That kind of mentality is baffling. How did it drive you away from FIFA? Surely, if you just want to play career mode on FIFA, just play career mode on FIFA. And then you don't see Ultimate Team. It's weird. Just only play the parts of the game that you enjoy. Did I ever play Football Manager Live? I did, but not very long. Thank you for the sub as well. 8 months. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Did you ever play Football Manager?
I was too into my career saves at the time to really focus on FM Live. If FM Live was out now, that would be amazing. I didn't play it very much. Or you choose a league and get random players from a specific league. Yeah, get a squad. Getting a random squad of 18 players from a league would be quite cool. And then having to pick a team and play a one-on-one match with that. Really, the idea was, I just wanted to make it so that the thing that decided who won the online game was who picked the best tactic and team, not who picked Manchester United rather than Hull, or not, you know, who, and make it so it doesn't take half an hour to do. You need it to be like a snappy 10-15 minute experience, similar to how long a game of FIFA Online takes. And you need to make it so that it's not just about picking Manchester United or Barcelona, because otherwise everyone will just do that. You need to have you need to make it a unique experience every time. You need people to have different squads of players every time, so they don't just pick their team and their players and just spam them, and it just becomes every online game is Real Madrid against Real Madrid because they've got the best squad or whatever it might be. So you need to mix that element of it up. The question comes from how would licensing work with all of that, and I don't know. It licensing might cause a bit of a problem. Right, we're offering trials to the Premier League released players. I always said FIFA and Ultimate Team should be completely separate games. But why? What's the harm in them being part of the same game? You think Work the Space has messed up his Leeds game badly? Presumably you saw his signing right at the end of the stream last week. That signing gets him the sack, I think. Because he's either going to upset his new expensive kid or upset Rafinha. The only logic can be he's planning on selling Rafinha for like 100 million in the summer and rebuilding his team. If that's the plan, then he might be a genius. Way to do an online mode is to set a lower budget like 20 million. Yeah, the problem then is if you're doing a full draft is the part that takes a long time. That's why I'm saying randomize part of the draft. Give someone, if you're doing squads of 16, for example, give someone their first 12 players and then they pick 4 more. And it's not even a full draft from the full database. Maybe you pick 5 players for key positions. So you'll get a choice of 5 goalkeepers and you select one. A choice of 5 centre-backs and you select one. So you get a bunch of players on random. You pick half a dozen key position players from a much smaller shortlist. And what was the draft that takes 20 minutes is now getting the team and it takes 3 minutes and then you're into the match. That's what I think. That's the change I think they need to make. Do you think SI need to put the option to make stadium expansions as the manager? No, because managers don't do that in real life. It's Football Manager, not Football Owner. Right, I think we just make offers for everyone who's got 5-star potential as usual. The only problem is we don't have any budget at the moment. So we might actually have to be a little bit more discerning and pick out the 1 or 2 that are the best options. So this guy, Ibrahim Conte, for example, I mean, if he's at the top end of that, that's stunning. If he's got 18 acceleration and 20 first touch and 20 passing, yes, please, I'll have one of these. Let's offer him a contract. Oh, a non-contract's even better. Yeah, just bring him in. Bring him in on the cheap. And then if we want him, we can keep him. He's the only one who's good enough to get into the squad straight away. In fact, there's another one. Jamie Warrington. Only 4.5-star potential, though. That rules him out. If you've not even got 5-star potential, don't waste my time. 4.5. Don't waste my time. Where's the sell-on value for you? Dawkins. You've got 5-star potential? You have. KJ Dawkins of Bournemouth. You get a contract as well. A non-contract. Beautiful. And now let's see if there's any others that have got 5-star potential. Guy Bishop also has 5-star potential off of Brighton. Waffle, thank you very much for 4 months. We get him as well. We can. Any of the rest of these got 5-star potential? No. See, we're getting too good for this game already. So we'll take those 3, please and thank you. Kev's starting to use attributes. Kev's always had a little look at attributes. I just don't consider them the be-all and end-all like some people do. Like when they were all drooling over that guy in the network game, I was like, I don't really know what you're seeing that makes you so excited about him. The reason why they should be separate games is they put all the development efforts into Ultimate Team, neglect the single player game. If they were separate, they'd have to make a good single player game again. Yeah, but they wouldn't. They'd just... What would happen in your scenario is they'd be separate for a couple of years. Ultimate Team would outsell the career mode version by multiple times over, and they'd just stop making the single player one altogether and justify it by, well, it sells far fewer than this one. Your way of doing it means that after a couple of years, the single player one isn't made at all. So by keeping it all in one game, at least it still exists. The only attribute Kev looks at is 6'5". I mean, height is the most important attribute. Right, we've got to win this game on one of our old stomping grounds as well. Come on! Exactly, you can't teach height. 6'3", I'm not signing this midget. Look, if he's a left back and he's 6'3", I'm not against it. But if you're trying to sell me on a centre back and he's only 6'3", he needs some platform shoes. I will hydrate. I've got a second big bottle of water here, so I'll hydrate with this. You thought you were going to catch me because you saw me squash the bottle up before. I'm on to you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Loving the stream, but I have a board game evening to prep for, so I have to go. Enjoy yourself. What board games are you playing? I mean, you're going anyway, you can't answer. I haven't had a board game night for ages. We didn't even bring our board game table with us when we moved because we were getting a dining table, which is a fancy thing that we didn't have at the old house. We didn't have room for. We had room for a board game table, but that was fold up. We got that out for board game nights. But we didn't have room for a dining table, whereas now we have a dining table. So we thought, well, we don't need the board game table. But now we're in a situation where we don't want to sit in the kitchen to play board games. We need a table for the living room to play board games on. We should have kept the board game table. We didn't. Silly. Manchester Madness, Pandemic, Blood Rage, Seven Wonders. The only one of them I've played is Pandemic. I'm not as much of a board game nerd as you, apparently. I've let myself down. The dining table is a board game table you eat at. Yeah, but it's in the kitchen. And we don't want to go up to the kitchen when, like, all our stuff is in the living room. You have to check out Seven Wonders. Such a good chill game. I shall investigate. Is it this season or next season EA's license to FIFA expires? I think for 23. I think the next game will not be called FIFA. Be very interesting to see what kind of impact that has on the industry in general. Big opportunity for Football Manager right there. Board game table in the same room as the fridge sounds lethal. Yeah, but it's not in the same room as like the big TV and all of our nerdy paraphernalia and crucially the board games. So we've got like, I don't know, a cabinet full of board games, like 30 board games probably. They're all downstairs. The table is upstairs. It wasn't properly thought through. Come on, boys. We need a goal. I'm going to encourage them early. I know we've just had half time. Gilks is in! No. Come on. Oh, I cannot believe we're bottling this. Oh, come on now. I've got water in my moustache. Filed are 6 points clear of us at the moment. Yes, we have a game in hand, but if we don't win today, it's basically the playoffs for us. And not only the playoffs, but the playoffs in horrible form. And everyone knows what the playoffs look like when you're in horrible form. The only chance we've got in the playoffs is if we win our last 5 games. And that should be enough for automatic promotion anyway. So one way or the other, we've got to win these games. Because if we don't, we're not winning the playoffs. I need to restart FM. It's feeling like that a little bit. The RNG is against me today. Right, come on, boys. Let's have a goal here. Good run! No. What do I think FM will do to take advantage of the license? Well, FM aren't going to get the license, but I think the fact that FIFA don't have it either levels the playing field a little bit. I mean, if Sega really want to make FM a big deal, bearing in mind FM23 will be released during the World Cup, they should at least go out and buy the license for the World Cup so they can promote it in terms of the World Cup and bring the game out right at the start of the World Cup and really push that side of things. This should be the year they make international management good. That would be how I'd play it, but I don't know. That license is probably far more expensive than Sega are going to fund. So it's probably not an option. They'll have to do their, like when the Euros were on and it's always described as the summer of football because they can't specifically say the Euros. EA has license until after the World Cup. EA still have FIFA Pro, so it'll not make a difference. Well, Football Manager have the FIFA Pro stuff as well. That's how they've got the names of the Premier League players and stuff, even though they're not individually licensed. If EA have got the license after the World Cup, then it won't be this year. It makes a difference. Yeah, Sports Interactive have the FIFA Pro player list, which is why they can get the names and positions and stuff, but can't use their likenesses and the teams. I need to throw attacking players onto the pitch. Right, we're going to put Isa on up front. We're going to take off Gilks. We're going to get Okoflex on. In fact, we're going to stick Okoflex over there. We're just throwing players onto the pitch now to try and make any kind of difference. Because we've got to win this game. Yeah, we'll try that. The license ends directly after the World Cup. So I guess that means they can't put it as their box name because I guess they'd have to stop selling it immediately if the license expires. For the same reason you can't buy FM18 on Steam anymore because the licenses have expired, so they can't sell it anymore. So they'd have to call it something other than FIFA 23 if the license expires during the life cycle of that game. But I guess they'll be able to mention the World Cup while it's on, maybe. Come on, boys. Can we just have a football goal, please? We'll demand more. We've got to do something. I thought that was going to go in. That would have been fine. We'll take an own goal. I don't care how it works. Just let us have a goal. Please. I mean, that's a lovely pass, but can we do that towards the goal? Play the ship song. I can't. It's not copyright free. Oh, I've heard it in the public now. I think it was copyright free and now it's not because it's so good. Come on! Do a football! Won't somebody do a football? Just get Jack to record a version and use that one. I should. He is a great singer. We're bottling this, aren't we? We're just setting up a backdoor Kev. That's all it is. The game still thinks this is for a YouTube series and wants to make it really interesting going into the final episode. This is going to be a double header final episode for the season. This is how this would work out. That would be an episode, then that would be an episode. It's setting me up nicely for that, but 5 games without a win is pathetic. How badly must Port Vale be doing for us to still be ahead of them with a game in hand? But Filed are there. Filed just have to knock balls up from here. Oh, we've got another 5-star potential. Noah Brogdon. In you come, Broggy. The Brogster. The Brogmeister. Naylor blames the woodwork. I'm tempted to fire him for that. What an absurd thing to say. We've not won in 5 games and you're blaming a piece of wood. Oh, he's asking to be sacked. think in the circumstances, I had no choice. We do need to hire an assistant manager now, though. Fairly urgently. How are Posh doing? Excellent question. So am I going to be proven to be worse than the AI on two fronts? They're up to 16th. Of course they are. Of course they are. So both versions are proving that the AI is better at Football Manager than I am. Oh, God. Who's scoring the goals without Brewster, Omotoy and John Jules? I mean, he's got 9 goals from 18 starts. I binned him off almost immediately. I don't even remember him. Thank goodness for the network game. The AI did get Leamington up via the playoffs, but I know my playoff track record. If we end up in the playoffs, we're not getting promoted. I mean, that's a safe assumption. Mickey Bread, thank you for the 3 months. 3 months in advance. Love it. What happened to Clark Harris? I mean, it's 2027. He'll be well in his 30s by now. Well, Backdoor Kev starts here. Stop the game and start chatting about vans. We've tried both. We've tried both. Oh. Might just set up my new wrestling ring. Now I've got 2 rings. We could do all sorts of shenanigans, although one is much bigger than the others. Where's Ricky J. Jones gone? I can't remember. He went somewhere in... He'd already gone, hadn't he? When I got to Peterborough. I will do a traffic report. I mean, it's like a new world out there today. This is all change. We'll get back to the traffic report in a second, but with the assistant manager gone, this guy's recommending we bring in this kid instead of Frenchie. And to be fair, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. You can't see because my sexy head is in the way. He's got a point. This guy should have been playing ahead of Frenchie all along. That's from my head of youth development. This guy gets a contract immediately. We have our new goalkeeper. That is a lot of changes that have been recommended there. That might be exactly what we need. But yeah, the traffic report. There's no cars at all out there today. After 2 weeks, yesterday. Chaos yesterday. Cars all over the place out there. No cars at all out there today. It's completely clear. The bins aren't out yet. I'll check with the binfluencer later. They live around the back. But at the moment, it's clear skies, clear roads. We're living in a suburban utopia right now. I think you'll find bin day around here is Wednesday, not Thursday. That is Worcester from Manchester United. Sheila's playing GeoGuessr right now and is genuinely looking at a lot of vans. I mean, I feel like I've given Sheila a lot of views today. Wednesday's garden bin day once every 2 weeks. Garden bins go the same day as the other bins. We have 3 different colours of bins around here. We have the blue bin, the black bin, the grey bin. I mean, mods, can we set up a poll? We just need confirmation that Wednesday is bin day. Everyone else is wrong. You just live somewhere weird if it's not Wednesday. What's the crossover with Sheila? I refused to watch her when we were looking for someone to watch. It's a long story. There's not even a way to explain it properly. It was a piece of nonsense. We had an episode of nonsense. Right. Come on then, Wooster. Making your debut. Sweeper keeper. Absolutely, you can be a sweeper keeper. This is all change. We have our sweeper keeper in. Perhaps that's the change we needed. A new inspirational goalkeeper who's wanted by Yeovil. They can get out of town. He's 6'3" as well. He's a big boy. 2 different days for 5 bins. How could you possibly need 5 bins? What's going in 5 bins? Four's excessive. We've got 3. Although we do have double recycling bins because we asked for an extra one because we get through so much recycling. So we have 1 black bin for rubbish, 2 blue bins for recycling, and 1 grey bin for garden stuff. And the recycling and the garden stuff all go on the same day. So we have a situation where every other week we have 1 bin and then 3 bins. 1 bin, 3 bins. Well, most weeks we don't have any garden stuff. Let's be honest. Right, I've got to do my own team talk as well because I don't have an assistant manager at the moment. Let's pile the misery on. Pile it! Black for rubbish, green for normal recycling, purple for paper and cardboard, brown for garden waste, green/purple alternate. I mean, having to split your recycling up, I just wouldn't bother. I'd just dump it all in a lay-by at the side of the road. Let it be someone else's problem. We still have bin bags, so it's as many as you put out. I would love to still have bin bags. Ben's in. One day I'll tune in for 2 minutes and you won't be talking about the bins again. Stop tuning in just after we do the traffic report, which, as you know, includes bins. We love the bins. I want to be a binfluencer. Yeah, I would love to just have bin bags. Because our black bin, our normal rubbish bin, overflowing. All the time. Overflowing. People do say this stream is rubbish. I mean, that stings. Up to Benjamin. That stings quite a lot. We have separate recycling, but I've seen the bin men yeet everything into the same part of the van. Absolutely. Yeah, Ben will never be a binfluencer. He's not got what it takes to be a binfluencer. Right, we're winning a football match for the first time in forever. All we had to do was change our assistant manager and goalkeeper. Come on! To be fair, paper cardboard goes in the actual paper mill now. Nice. I don't have a paper mill. It's not like a pepper mill. Keep that in the kitchen. Just up your paper. Ooh, the comedy's strong here. Right. I don't know how to do my own team talks anymore. It's been so long relying on the assistant manager. Don't get complacent. Can I point my finger while saying that? Of course I can. I'll point whatever I want at them. Come on! Come on. How are Filed doing? Or is this our game in hand over them? I don't think Filed are playing today. We don't care about Port Vale anymore. We only care about Filed. Bring back the content clinic. Let's do a content clinic then, Ben. Should we do one? When should we do one? Should we do one this week? Do I not get assistant manager recommendations for substitutes without an assistant manager either? How are you supposed to play this game without the assistant manager recommending you do things? I hate having to think for myself. This is horrible. There you go. That all makes sense. We should never do it again. People will not learn. We've told them everything. That is true. We should write a book. Or do an online course. We've got to find a way to charge people for our knowledge, Ben. We can't just keep giving it away for free. I was talking to people about cows earlier. Write a book. We'll write a book. An ebook that you can turn into NFT. It doesn't need to be an NFT. Just a Kindle book. Title of the book. This is a really good book. Skillshare has a need for FM courses. I've genuinely started a Skillshare course about 3 times because I see these stories of people making an absolute killing on Skillshare, and I just haven't got the patience to do it. I need that immediate feedback of getting a piece of content out and getting feedback on it. I can't do like a 20-part course all filmed in advance that then goes on to Skillshare and people slowly but surely watch it over a number of months. I just don't, my brain doesn't work. I need the immediate feedback. I need the little reward in my brain. Oh, people liked it. I'll do another one now. I've become so reliant on a fast feedback loop. I've realized it's a problem. Release the content piecemeal and get feedback that way. That's not how Skillshare works, though. Skillshare, you have to do the complete course in advance. Come along, gentlemen. I mean, this has been a better performance today. All we needed to do was change the goalkeeper, apparently. It was that idiot assistant manager who was holding us back. I mean, he's been my assistant manager for 6 years, and I've just binned him off for talking about the post. I mean, imagine he's got to explain that to his wife. So, I hear you've been sacked, darling. What happened? I was doing his press conferences for him again, and had the cheek to suggest that because we hit the post, we didn't win. They fired me for it. I think it's reasonable. He's held me back for 6 years, exactly. And on the topic of realism, it is realistic. I had a major falling out with him, so I fired him. Speaking as a Peterborough fan, this is always our solution to problems. We fire the assistant manager. Fergie hires a new one every 6 months or so. He's always firing his assistant managers. There you go. Give them all a pat on the head. If we tear up the leagues now, we'll know that he was why it was such a slow start. Yeah, imagine if the whole first 6 seasons was all because of him. Because he's an idiot. He's been doing my press conferences all this time and just doing them wrong. Guy Bishop off of Neighbours is in. Wooster is a star. Watch Yeovil swoop in and take him from me now. Goodrum played well. Have we had anyone apply for the assistant manager's job yet? Oh, we can go to Bristol Rovers. Oh, well, that changes everything. Let's go and manage Bristol Rovers, everybody. Let's go to Bristol. Hey, you think I've managed Posh too many times? Let's have another trip to Bristol. That was the worst non-League to Legend club in recent years. Which time? We went there 2 years in a row and no one moaned then. Take the job as an Earth 3 save. Yeah, this might be my new way of doing content. I only ever begin one save every FM, and every other save spins out of that one save. We just have multiple different versions of the universe. But only ever one save file. The Kev cinematic universe. I like it. How would we do crossovers? Just all these branching storylines. Every time a new job comes up, I have to start a new series and it has to run alongside the original one. By like February, I'd have 5 different series on the go. And it wouldn't get confusing at all. Crossovers, the LOLLUJO Cup at the end, which we still don't know if I'm going to be able to do this year. I need to see how versus mode works. We might not be able to do the LOLLUJO Cup this year. What was my youth intake like? I don't remember having one. Does anyone remember the youth intake? I don't remember seeing it. Not yet. Okay. We are well into April, though. And by well into April, I mean we're a week into April. Every time you win a Champions League in a save with a different team, you move on to the next. I spent 100k earlier in the stream to name a kid, and I haven't seen it yet. Did you let a mod know? And did the mods let... Have we got any mods in today? Because there's behind-the-scenes admin that has to go on around that. I basically get a nudge from a mod telling me to sort it. We've got no mods here. I mean, what is going on? Shows how well behaved you've all been. We've been streaming to nearly 1,000 people for 2 hours, and we've not had a mod in. And we've not had any rascals. Well done, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause for good behaviour. But it does mean that I can't do that right now. We need a mod to turn up. It will get sorted soon, Gambling Blues. Don't worry. Did you tell... If you sent Chris a DM, it'll make it to Discord eventually. Did you tell him what position you wanted and stuff? Oh, can we extend David Roberts yet? I'd like to do that, please. Oh, we can. Yes, we'll extend David Roberts for another year. How can we suddenly afford to do that when we couldn't afford before? Why is committed spending so low? Have I done something dumb? What have I done? I feel like I've probably done something dumb. There are a bunch of contracts expiring, but yeah, we'll take Barry on loan for another year as well. Why not? We love a long loan. But we also have wage bill concerns. My assistant manager was on 4k a week. Can you imagine? Who have we got expiring this summer? Mo Isa, who we probably are going to let go. He started well, but has got off the boil as the season's gone on and is old now. Only 2 stars. He'll leave. Knowles can go. Blair can go. I mean, most of these we are going to let go, actually. Andrucci can leave. I think it's just that we've got a lot of contracts expiring, yeah. And we're going to let them all go. Big rebuild this summer. Well, if we get to keep Roberts for another year, that's perfect. We're going to do a Lerick Fernandez with him. When does his West Brom contract expire? End of next season. So we are potentially in a situation here where we've brought him in on a free, sold him to West Brom, loan him back for 2 years and bring him back on a free. And he'll never even go to West Bromwich. I almost said Birmingham, but I thought the people of West Brom would shout at me. Do you consider yourselves living in Birmingham if you're from West Bromwich? It's all on the tram line. But I once said Wolverhampton was in Birmingham and people were furious. West Brom is in Birmingham. Okay, that's all right then. So he never even made it to Birmingham. We're going fully with what Mamba's said there. It's Mamba's decision. I love the fact we've still got the Christmas music on, by the way. 2 more days of this. Tomorrow's the last day of the Christmas music. The tree will come down. And I've nothing to point at. We still haven't decided what I'm going to point at. I guess I could point at my new wrestling ring. We could set that up back there. And that could be something for me to point at. It's not in Birmingham. There's his suitcase neatly packed waiting for his departure. Isn't Wolverhampton its own city? We'll see. It's on the same tram line. To me, that means it's the same place. Just like everywhere you can get to on the tube is in London, and I don't care what you say. Watford is in London. Newcastle and Sunderland are the same place. But Nottingham and Derby are separate because you can't get to Derby on the tram. Watford is the north. Sunderland's on the Metro, isn't it? Therefore, it's in Newcastle. There's a lot of Leamington players being put up for Player of the Year. I like that. So we have to vote for someone rubbish. I mean, Roberts should win it comfortably. Technically, you can walk from every place in England to another. Surely it's all just England. Yeah, but I'm more concerned with about like trams and tube and stuff. That's how you decide how it works. The way London keeps expanding, you'll be in it soon. I mean, Peterborough basically was. Saturday lunchtime, Peterborough Station is just full of Arsenal shirts. Because it's only like 45 minutes away on the train. And you can get off at Finsbury Park. What about direct buses? I'm not as familiar with the bus services. I think it probably blurs the lines a little bit because like you can get a direct bus from Peterborough to Leicester. I don't think Peterborough and Leicester are the same place. They're an hour away from each other. Again, that's not true. Probably closer to 40 minutes, but still. I'm pretty sure everywhere you can get to on the tube is London. And likewise, if you can't get there on the tube, it's not in London. You can get a megabus from Bristol to Edinburgh. That's a joke. I live in North London. It takes an hour on the tube to get to Finsbury Park. That's mad. Yeah, from the centre of Peterborough, you can be at Finsbury Park Station in like 45 minutes. Peterborough is Leicester. Whoa, 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 whoa. Leicester is in Peterborough. Peterborough's cathedral is bigger than Leicester's cathedral. Therefore, Peterborough is the superior city. If we judge it based on cathedrals. So on that logic, Leicester is just a part of Peterborough, not the other way around. You can get the tube to Reading now. Can you, by golly? Well, then Reading's in London. We're comparing cathedral sizes now, are we? As a Peterborean, it's a good thing to compare because we have a pretty impressive cathedral. There's a metro in Newcastle and Sunderland and Tynemouth and North South Shields. Yeah, they're all Newcastle then. Can't get a metro from Sunderland to Newcastle, so they're not the same. You can't. Okay, then I'll allow you to call them separate. I thought they were all on the same metro. I need to check this. Hold on. What's it officially called? Is it just the metro? This is more important than the promotion push we're taking part in. Right, we're getting a map of the metro. The Tyne and Weir Metro is what it's called. So the Tyne and Weir Metro. Let's have a little look, shall we? This is the map we're using. I assume this is completely up to date and valid. Oh, that's so small. So, where's Newcastle? Where's Sunderland? There's the Stadium of Light. So that's on the green line. It's all part of the same system. I don't care if the lines are different. Are you telling me that Regent Centre isn't in Newcastle? I've never been to Newcastle. I don't know. North Shields is up there. Where's... So it's St James Central Station. It looks like the one from Stadium of Light passes straight through what I assume St James's Park is near St James Central Station. So it looks like you can get a metro directly from Sunderland to Newcastle for a football match. Gateshead's on there as well. I'm not having it, CJ. I am not having it. Sunderland is part of Newcastle. They're Kev's rules. There we go. You can get the metro, but it's like an hour. It doesn't matter. It takes like 2 hours to get from one side of London to the other on the tube. It's still all London. Or is Newcastle a part of Sunderland? Well, this is where we need to get the cathedrals out. Do either of them have one? There's 2 lines on the Tyne Weir Metro. All lines lead into Newcastle. Separate rivers, therefore separate places. I mean, there's multiple rivers in London. It's still all London. Sunderland barely has a community centre, let alone a cathedral. Well, there you go. It's part of does Newcastle have a cathedral? Newcastle has a cathedral, Sunderland doesn't. Well, therefore, Sunderland is part of Newcastle. Boom. Glad we had this little talk. I feel like I've taught you all something there. Now we know Sunderland is just a suburb of Newcastle. You're welcome. How's the viewer numbers doing? Oh, they've gone up. Welcome along, everyone from Newcastle. Excellent. Durham has the cathedral. Or as it should be pronounced, Durham. So are they all part of Durham? So is there no Newcastle? Is there no cathedral in Newcastle? Thank you for the geography help. You're welcome. Newcastle's basically Scottish. Oh yeah, it's definitely part of Scotland. Yeah, it's so far away, it's basically Scotland. Just like Bristol's in Wales. Bristol and Liverpool are both in Wales, and I won't hear differently. They're just so far away, they're basically Welsh. Dover's France. Exactly. Right, who are we playing? Hartlepool. Probably part of Newcastle as well. I haven't checked the map recently. Probably is though. The fans turn up through thick and thin. Remember that as you go out there today. I bet we've got like 9 people who've travelled all the way to Hartlepool for this game. Carry on your last performance into this match. Let's give them all a fist pumping. I have faith in you. Look at me pumping my fists. I have so much faith in you all. I've made one of them aggressive there. Did you know Bolton Stadium isn't even in Bolton? I've been to the Bolton Stadium to watch a Coldplay concert because I'm that much of a football fan. It's the only time I've been there. It was still called the Reebok. I was there to see a concert for Coldplay. They recorded the video for Fix You that night. London will be the only place left in England soon with Kev Logic. It's the only place in England worth going. As someone who doesn't live in London. Does that mean Milton Keynes is the centre of the UK? I mean, Milton Keynes is just like a service station, isn't it? Milton Keynes is just an extravagant service station. Grimsby's Ground isn't even in Grimsby, it's in Cleethorpes. I've been to Grimsby's Ground and had fish and chips in Cleethorpes. My Kev's logic, everywhere in England is just a suburb of London. No, because some of them are Scotland or Wales. Milton Keynes isn't a real place. Just divide the UK up into basically London, basically Edinburgh, more or less Cardiff. I'm on board with that. It makes geography so much simpler. What's Manchester then? The north. It's where the wildlings are, using Game of Thrones logic. Leicester is the place to be. We've already established Leicester is part of Peterborough because of the cathedral comparison. Right, we are losing. This is not good. This is basically consigning us to the playoffs. I'm going to thrash my arms. Consider my arms thrashed. Logic, Peter is pretty much on the Thames. It basically is. If it's within an hour, it basically is. Guessing Northamptonshire is also part of Peterborough then. Definitely. I mean, most places in Northamptonshire are part of the diocese of Peterborough, if we're using religious terminology, which presumably we are. Well, I mean, we're measuring it on cathedrals. Where have the religious folk claimed? I know when we went to Rushden the other week, I noticed that the church near where we parked was officially part of Peterborough. I don't understand religion and how that works, but it said Peterborough on it somewhere. We're playing Ben Andrucci up front. We need a goal. We are turning to this guy. Can't imagine imagine if he's the one who fires us to the Football League and then I still drop him again. What about Iceland, Kev? Iceland's got a decent car park. Thoughts on Southampton and Portsmouth? They're just basically the same, aren't they? And Bournemouth. Lump Bournemouth in there as well. They're all basically the same. We go from Twitch, YouTube to bins to cathedrals. Our topics are very expansive. That's what we do. They're the seaside. See, I wouldn't class Southampton and Portsmouth as the seaside. Maybe we don't lump Bournemouth in with them. Bournemouth is definitely the seaside. Portsmouth and Southampton are just near the sea, but I wouldn't class them as seaside. To be seaside, you've got to have nice beaches. Brighton is clear of any other South Coast city. I mean, if you're judging it based on which one has the most unpleasant rocky beach, then yes, Brighton would be ahead. But if you're judging it based on beaches you'd actually want to walk on barefoot, Brighton is basically rock bottom because of the rocks. Horrible pebble beaches. You're basically going and sitting on someone's driveway for the afternoon, going on Brighton Beach. Right, that was a terrible performance. Need a new assistant manager. All beaches are bottom of that list. There are no good beaches to go on barefoot. Bournemouth's great. Plus, Bournemouth has a hot air balloon. And a zip line. You can get a zip line from the pier onto the beach in Bournemouth. That's living. I am working for the Bournemouth Tourist Board, obviously. Wish I was. That'd be a great job. Just call me the king of Bournemouth now. Have we... We can't get promoted. We're 6 points behind with 2 games to go. We need to win both or Filed lose both. We play Boston, who are 14th, while Filed play Notts County, who are 4th. There's a possibility there. And then on the last day, Filed are at home to Southport, who are already relegated. And we're away against Kingstonia, who are also rubbish. But that last day of the season, we're going into the playoffs, boys and girls. And there's nothing any of you can do about it. As long as it's no longer Nonny's Legend, I think you can search for staff. Yeah, but it's just stupid. I don't want to do it. I prefer to use Job Centre. I never use the staff search screen on any save. It's not just a Nonny to Legend thing. I just think the whole concept of it is silly. Right, we have our youth intake. Oh, look at it. It's rubbish. But we have managed to attract Portuguese, a Canadian, Welsh, Scottish. What a cosmopolitan youth intake that is. Now, I think the best way to get staff is you advertise the job, people apply for it, and then you pick the one that you want. 2 foreigners is cosmopolitan. There were 4 foreigners there. There was Portugal, Canada, Wales, and Scotland. That's 4 foreigners. And only 2 English. That's very good. That's twice as many people who are not English as English. That's definitely cosmopolitan. It was exotic. How annoyed would I be if I didn't get promoted? I'm pretty much accepting that we're not getting promoted at this point. It seems pretty unlikely that we're going. Is there any names I recognise here? Tristan Lewis wants the job. I mean, that's probably enough reason for me to give it to him. He's at Chorley. I mean, Tristan, if you want it, it's yours. I go. Probably said that wrong. Thank you for the prime. Or do we go with someone a little bit younger, like Ash Goss, assistant manager for hire, off of Billericay, who's got a 12 for people management and a 12 for motivating. But he's not as good at judging actual players. And bearing in mind, the main job my assistant manager does is picking the team. Do I want the guy who's not as good at judging ability? He is better at judging potential, though. Maybe Ash Goss, assistant manager for hire, is the man. He's studying for his Continental A license as well. Come on, Gossy. God, you don't want much, do you? Wants loads of money. You're not having a pay rise if we go up. Well, there you go, then. New assistant manager incoming. Of course, I think I have got my director of football set to do hiring and firing. But he might yet hire someone before that guy even comes in. So I think that's what he's set up to do. Yeah. So we'll see who gets their assistant manager in first. There we go. It's the director of football. He doesn't even give me a chance to decide about it. He's just in. Just straight away, he's in. No, I don't even get to sign off on it. Elistini. To be fair, you are better than Ash Goss was. Congratulations to my assistant manager. That is quite a good assistant manager for this level. Good work. There we go. And let's make sure that he's doing the bits that I want him to be doing. In fact, we could have done that from there, couldn't we? Boink. And make sure that he's doing the team, not the team talks, the media stuff. Because that's what the other guy got fired for. Well, apparently, the recommended person is still Naughty Chris. So we'll just leave it with him then. Fair enough. Is he related to Troy? I don't know. Is he? Yes, it's Troy Deeney's brother. We've got Troy Deeney's brother. And I assume their parents are Beatles fans. Troy's middle name's Ringo George. Oh, if they are, I'm going to be absolutely delighted. Oh, we can't click on him. He must have retired. I need to know what Troy Deeney's middle names are. This is more important than promotion now. If his middle names are George Ringo, that will make my year. Oh, Matthew. Ah. Rubbish. Rubbish. That ruined it for everybody. Never mind, eh? Are they religious names? I would explain before I don't understand religion. They'd probably know the answer about why the church in Russian says Peterborough on it. Can we ask him? Is that an option? Ellis? Can we not talk to you? I want to ask you about the church in Rushden. No, it's not an option. Never mind. It's Pope names, not Beatles names. Look, it's Beatles names. Went to my school, a Catholic school, so likely. Okay. I'll allow it. I won't force him to change religion just to work for me. I will allow it. As long as he continues to play Worcester in goal. Looks like I've turned up just in time for a match against Boston. You've also got work to do, Scotty. We've had a youth player cashed in. But I think it was sent to Chris, not you, so it's probably not much use to you. We've also been having all sorts of religious discussions without you here to supervise, so... Paul McCartney's real first name is James. Really? Who changes their name from one really innocuous, boring name to another? Was Paul his middle name or something? Why was he known as Paul? There's your posture check. Oh. He goes by his middle name. Okay. Youth intake was somewhere. There you go. That no. Hold on. That was the youth intake. Elton John changed his name. Yeah, and got it the wrong way round. No, he must have just filled a form in wrong. He obviously meant to be John Elton, which would make sense as a name. Am I in charge of Everton in real life? They've just signed a young right back from Rangers for £16 million. I thought Everton had no money because of previous FFP. I thought they couldn't sign anybody. You want Foster? What name are we using? We'll just do it now. What name are we putting on them? Is his dad called James? Is that why he uses his middle name? That's normally what happens. It feels like research you lot could be cracking on with while I'm focusing on promotion. What is Bilo a name? Is that your name? You're gonna have to explain that to me. I need more information. So, name Simon Foster, Bilo Nelson. Oh. There you go. Has it done it? There you go. His dad was Jim McCartney. Well, there you go. Now we know. It's my two dogs. One's named Milo, who I call Bilo, after grocery chain. Now, that makes sense then. Well, it made sense until you said you named a dog after Reece Nelson. It got questionable there, but the rest of it made sense. Ash Goss. He rejected our offer anyway, so we wouldn't have got Ash Goss, even though he applied for it and we offered him exactly what he wanted. Ah, almost dropped my miniature laughing cow thing. Miniature laughing cow. Which is beautiful. Is Ash Goss related to Matt and Luke? Probably. Does that make him the Pope as well? Or what? I didn't really understand what we were talking about before. Right. We've just got to win these last two games with our new assistant manager. If we don't get promoted, we now have a scapegoat. The new assistant manager came in and then we didn't get promoted. FFP is letting us get away with it because they're pitying our form. Maybe there was just transfers from 3 years ago that have dropped off FFP now. Maybe it was just in the summer Everton couldn't spend any money. Did they spend a lot of money 3 years ago? Favorite big potato game? Don't get got. We spend a lot of money every year. Was that the Awobi year? Yeah, so I guess that's why there's now money available now, because those payments have dropped off. It's a 3-year rolling average for FFP, isn't it? Right. Come on, let's go win a football match. Who have Everton signed? A right back off of Rangers, someone said. I don't think I caught a name. Nathan Patterson, there you go. I mean, it was the first thing that needed fixing in that Everton squad. Seamus Coleman, not acceptable. It was one of the first orders of business I did as part of the Keverton Revolution. New right back. We've got a goalkeeper who can save penalties now. This is wonderful stuff. So a young Rangers right back is worth 4 times my club. Football money is nuts. Coleman was at left back at the weekend. That's presumably a short-term measure. I got Luca Dina on my Everton shirt. Don't tell me he's leaving. They're going to sell him. Well, I want a refund on my shirt then. That was I've got him on the back of my shirt. Well, this is no good. I need a new Everton shirt. Now I've got an excuse to get the Everton away kit. With 4 nails on the back. That would confuse them in the club shop. I'd like 18 4 nails on the back of my Everton away shirt, please. He's fallen out with Rafa, has he? I'll check in with him later. I was texting Rafa this morning. I assume we're talking about my dad. I'll check in with him. See what he's done. Fylde are losing as well. I mean, Fylde are playing Notts County, aren't they? I would expect Fylde to lose this one, just to keep it interesting going into the last day. But on the last day, Fylde play Southport, who are already relegated. So Fylde have had a red card as well. Absolute scenes when 4 now signs for Everton. Get the 3rd kit instead of the away kit, much better. I'll have to see if them lot agree to a 2nd season after I win the Premier League first time of asking. Because I suspect when I do that, they'll just refuse to play with me anyway. It's 3-0. Are we knocking the stuffing out of Fylde? Is the dream on? Notts County are sorting everything out for us. Yeah, if we get a 2nd season of the network game, I'll buy another Everton shirt. There's no network game this week. Blame Zealand. I think I have got a network game command set up, which tells you when the next network game will be. I believe it is ! Network game. It'll get my dad on a call for the network save, like Ben got his dad on a call. Now, my dad wouldn't understand what was going on. There's not a chance my dad would be able to work Discord. Yeah, I'll have to get a 4 nails shirt just to confuse the club shop. There you go. Thursday the 13th of January is the next network game. Yeah, it's Zealand's fault. Blame Zealand. Zealand's in prison. That's why it's not happening this week. And then presumably Ben's going to New York because apparently he likes going there. And then it'll just be Jack's turn to force a week off with a holiday. We're all such jet setters with our international jet setting lifestyles. This is why there's never been a long-term network game before, because we can't always be in the same place. Why does Ian go on so many holidays? Because he's a very wealthy man. You've seen how many Twitch subs and YouTube subs he's got, haven't you? The man has got more money than chest hair. That's why he goes on so many holidays. That is a lovely finish from Isa. Well, there's 2 network games next week. I don't think anything's been agreed. There might be. I mean, ultimately, I'll be streaming most afternoons anyway. It doesn't matter if one of the extra ones of them is a network game. Jack went away. Jack didn't go on holiday. He went back to his parents' house for Christmas. That's a bit different. Yeah, it's either this or the network game. Either we get all the fun in the network game, or I get to have maybe 300 of you turn up for the network game because you'll all be watching Ben and Zealand because you're monsters. Or I can have nearly 1,000 of you here for Leamington. Kill the network game. It's done. It served its purpose. You all know I exist now. Now kill it. So I can have all the viewers. All the viewers. We are comfortably beating Boston. That was a very exotic clearance just then. Oh, Roberts has got himself sent off. That's him unavailable for the playoffs, probably. Something the network game wants on top of the league. Yeah, I'll win it first season, then we'll bin it off. No, I want it to last forever. I'm loving the network game. It's awesome. Right. What happened with Filed? Filed are losing still. 1 match ban for Roberts. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we're working on the assumption we're in the playoffs now. We're not actually going to be winning the league. I don't think there's much chance of Southport beating Filed, although that's quite a local-ish derby, isn't it? They're both up on that northwest coast, are they not? Maybe Southport or Relish ruin it. I mean, they're probably one of the teams that hate Filed most of all. So maybe they'll do us a favour. You're allowed to take other jobs in the network game. I think we agreed you can take jobs lower down in the league table. So I can pretty much have any job I want. I'll go to Manchester City. Jack's got the choice of like most of League 2. Nobody likes... I realise nobody likes Filed, but I'm going to assume teams relatively local to them hate them more than anyone. Why does nobody like Filed? Because they basically... bought their way up the leagues and are trying to represent an entire geographical area rather than their little pub team they were originally. So fingers crossed Southport can do us a favour on the last day. Because Filed is the name of the region, isn't it? So like Blackpool would be within Filed. Am I right in saying that? Tell you what, this new keeper's quite good, isn't he? Oh, why were we not playing him all year? That's the guy who says Liverpool is in Wales. Liverpool is in Wales. It's the Filed. Okay. It's the Filed coast. Filed's owners wanted to buy Blackpool originally. Okay. What season are we in? This is 2027, I think? Yeah, 2027. Why didn't they just buy Blackpool then? Because weren't Blackpool up for sale for years? It's like getting a club called New Forest. It's not though, is it? Because there's not any clubs within the New Forest at the moment. It would be more like getting a club and calling them East Anglia and trying to represent Norwich and Peterborough and Ipswich. The Wash. Yeah, West Midlands. It'd be more like that. Which club is more hated, McDongs or Filed? Probably McDongs, because the hate is more widely known. Calling a club Greater Manchester, yeah. Or like Manchester United, trying to unite the entire... Something like that would be really wangy, wouldn't it? London United. Imagine trying to claim the entire city. Yorkshire FC. There'd only be like 9 Football League teams if the whole of Yorkshire became one club. It's like half the Football League are from Yorkshire, aren't they? Yorkshire doesn't exist. It's split into 4. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The Curse Logic, Yorkshire's in Newcastle. Nah, Yorkshire's basically Manchester, isn't it? It's just the north. The people of Yorkshire will love that. They all talk the same. They all sound like they're on Coronation Street. There's 2 accents. 3 accents. EastEnders, Coronation Street, Scotland. They're the 3 accents. So Yorkshire people are Coronation Street. I've never seen Emmerdale. I assume they just sound like they're on Coronation Street. Radio is the 4th accent. Excellent. Yeah, okay, so I'll allow 4 accents. Just like there's 5 types of bird. There's 5 birds, 4 accents. We established there's 5 birds last year sometime. Scouse is basically Coronation Street still. What are the 5 birds? Oh, can I remember the 5 birds? Pigeon, ostrich, penguin, chicken. And there was a 5th. What was the 5th bird? Maybe there's only 4 birds. A lot of people naming a lot of different types of pigeon. Was it? It might have been seagull. I don't really know why I differentiate a seagull from a pigeon. They're basically the same. Owl probably would have been the 5th. Yeah. So pigeon, chicken, ostrich, penguin, owl. They're your 5 types of bird. Or duck. Duck's basically a chicken though, isn't it? Goose is basically a chicken. We just like to simplify things around here. Penguins are birds. They've got wings. They're basically birds. You have no predator bird unless an eagle is an owl. I've never seen an eagle, so they're basically pigeons. You're telling me pigeons aren't predators? If you're telling me a pigeon is not a predator, you've never tried to eat a bag of chips walking down the high street. You've never been on Cathedral Square in Peterborough eating a bag of chips. If you're telling me that pigeons are not predators. Seagulls are the real chip predators. That is true. I remember watching Sheepdog get chased by a seagull once. It was brilliant. One of my favourite things. He never dropped a chip. Frappuccino, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I love how seriously some of you take this stuff. It's brilliant. Someone said before, do I feed off hate? I don't feed off hate. I just love the reactions when I say stuff like that. I say something deliberately absurd and then people completely seriously correct me, and I it's my favorite thing. I love it. You're a tabloid streamer. Yeah, what I need is a premium rate hotline where you can all phone in and tell me. Basically, I'll be the talk sport of Twitch. I'll just say something deliberately absurd and controversial to rile you all up, and then you have to pay me 90p a minute to ring up and tell me why I'm wrong. This is the business model. We need to get this set up. How do you get a premium rate phone line? Get a Discord line up. Yeah, but that doesn't make me money. You're misunderstanding the purpose of it. completely on board with 5 types of bird until there were no form of predator. Well, I'm open to binning off penguin if we're... I mean, penguin's basically a fish. You could argue that penguin is a fish. So penguin could be one of like the 3 types of fish. I could put the Discord line behind a paywall. Because you can have Discord roles assigned. So you either have to be a Twitch sub. I could put it in the VIP section on Discord. You have to be either a Twitch sub, a YouTube member, or a Patreon. And then you can get into the Discord hotline and tell me why I'm wrong. This is how I make my millions. Right, it is the last day of the season. We have to beat Kingstonian while Filed lose to Southport. Taco Riot, thank you very much for the donation. It's very kind of you. How many types of bird do you think there are? You get to have your say now. No one else gets a say. You get to have your say because you gave me a £5. Thank you. Penguins are biscuits. Right, this all seems to make sense to me. All these names and numbers. Right, come on. Let's just do it. Let's just win the league. I had turducken for Christmas. I would love to try turducken. I was trying to convince Anna it was a good idea, but she didn't want me to have to make one myself. Because she knows I'd balls it up and it'd be raw in the middle. And they didn't have a frozen one in Aldi. Is this a LOLLUJO bottle? How can it be a bottle when I'm going into the final day 3 points behind top of the league? Regardless of what happens, it can't be classed as a bottle. It could be a backdoor Kev. We were second in the league and 3 points behind when I restarted the save. We're still that. This is definitely not a bottle. We've done exactly as expected. I don't know why, but in my language, a turkey is called a Dutch chicken. I love that, and that is what I call turkey from now on. Next Christmas, when Anna asks what we're having, I'm going to say we're having Dutch chicken. And she'll actually get excited because she'll think it means no turkey this year. Because no one likes turkey. It's so boring. We're having Dutch chicken. I need to write that down and remember. Put that at the front of my diary so I remember it all year. Penguins and chickens don't fly. I'd love to just take that out of context. Nothing related to what anyone's talked about. You've just come in. You do. I like to think you go into all Twitch streams and just like, guys, I don't know if you're aware, but penguins and chickens don't fly. Huh? I thought it was... I just got a text from Tesco. I thought they were telling my order was due for collection now. It's tomorrow, don't worry. Mondi, thank you very much for the prime. If you don't do top 2, I bottled it. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But even so, is it really bottling it if you end up in the playoffs anyway? This isn't ideal. We weren't supposed to go behind in this game. How is Southport doing? It's filed. Still 0-0 there. Well. Imagine if Southport win and we lose anyway. We've got to demand more. No, Tesco didn't have anything to add on the bird debate, unfortunately. Right, here we go. This is how we start to turn things around. It's Truthahn in German, which is just the sound they make, plus chicken. How is that the sound? Have you ever heard a turkey speak? How is that the sound turkeys make? Truthahn. Truthahn. I've never heard a turkey say that. Filed have scored, have they? Ugh. Pointing the finger. We need to go attack him. It doesn't really matter anyway because Filed are going to win. Yeah, turkeys gobble. They should be called gobblers. What are we having for dinner? Gobblers. I'd be all for that. I'll have a gobbler. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think we're going to break the playoff curse here. We've got to break it sooner or later, surely. The best thing is, in true content creator style as well, looking at the time, you're going to have to come back tomorrow for the playoffs. Because we've timed it just right. Talking Sticks, thank you very much for the prime. A male turkey is called a gobbler. Is it, by golly? That is great. Trut is how they sound, and Han means rooster if it's male. I've never heard a turkey say trut. The Rog, thank you very much for the prime. Oh, we nearly scored there. That would have been nice. I'm demanding more. We're going to make substitutions 10 minutes early. Port Vale are now winning in their game. Does that affect us? What we don't want to do is finish in fourth. As long as we're second or third, we get the advantage in the playoffs. If we drop down to fourth place, it is an absolute disaster because we then have to go through the extra round of playoffs, and we'd get away and an away fixture in there as well potentially. I don't think that's the case actually, but we'd have to do the extra round. No one wants to do the extra round. Right, we're getting Ben Andrucci on. He's going to be the man who fires us into the Football League. We're going to do that. And then we've got to get Mo Isa on as well, haven't we? He can come on for Gilks. We're already attacking. Come on, boys. Demand more. More! Oh, it's a disaster. Right, come on. 2-on-2. Oh, how did he get back into it? It's Andrucci. We knew he was the answer all along. Come on, boys. Shoot. Oh, that would have been a beautiful goal. We are still in second place. So, fingers crossed, nothing can force us down from there. Fylde are still winning and have missed a penalty now. We can bring Muller on and throw him further forward. Stick him in there. We can kind of put him there, and go to a back three. Oh, I hate this. This is going to be the rest of the stream now. We try to get him to go in the middle. Oh, brilliant. Right, make him a wide centre back on attack. So he gets up that side. He's going up that side. He's going to hover there in the middle. This is fine. This can't go wrong. Come on, boys. Here we go. Goals incoming. Mo Isa's in. Penalty. Goal. 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 There we go. We've pulled level. Doesn't matter because Fylde are winning. I don't know why I'm getting so excited. Beautiful stuff. That was our centre forward all the way back there. Don't know what he's doing back there. More! Come on, Southport. Southport have missed a penalty. What is happening? This is why we need picture in picture. Right, we're going to grab a winner here. Hideous. Hideous. Don't like that. Didn't enjoy that. I don't support what I've just witnessed. Ian, thank you for the sub. Have we hit another hype train? I think it's the third hype train of the stream, which is excellent news. Wow. That was a really upsetting goal to concede as well, because of how he's just tucked it underneath the goalkeeper. That's a lovely finish. Oh, God. Well, tomorrow is going to be the playoffs, boys and girls. Oh. I mean, Andrucci's got to be offside there, surely. He still doesn't ever score. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. And the worst thing is, we've now got this horrible defeat to take into the playoffs. So we're in poor form as well. Fylde did beat Southport, so it didn't really matter from a today perspective. But we've now got to go into the playoffs in poor form. We'll have a look to see who the form teams are going into these playoffs, because we've all been a bit bottly this season. So hopefully everyone's going into it a little bit rubbish and it can just be a lottery. Is there a reason some FM videos for 22, yours and Jackson ones I noticed, are being tagged as 20? They shouldn't be. What do you mean by tagged? I was top at the start of the stream, but yesterday we weren't. Ugh. There you go. It's our best ever finish. So, I mean, that's a good performance, regardless. Who's in form? League table, last 5 games. So Stevenage in the best form in the league. That's probably who will play in the final if we get there. Notts County are in good form. Port Vale are in better form than us. Oh. So it's Notts County versus Aldershot, Port Vale versus Ebbsfleet, and then us and Stevenage get put in the mix. We've probably got time to see who we're going to play. Let's get these first round of matches out. We've just got to make sure we're done in time for non-league to legend at 4 o'clock. But we've got 6 minutes to play with here. It's fine. So excited for the next year of the National League. Yeah. The other Leamington did come. Yeah, Earth 1 Leamington finished 3rd and won the playoffs. So on league performance, I have performed better than my AI replacement. Should we just quickly see how Peterborough have done? Hopefully they got relegated. They're down to 19th. They've tumbled down a little bit again. Is there any chance of a relegation? No. They're definitely going to outperform what I did after spending £10 million, which is alarming, quite frankly. We haven't gone professional yet. We just want to see how these first round matches go. Will we become professional? If we get promoted, we will. If we don't, we probably won't. Similar number of points to my Peterborough. Is it? Good. Did I win the league? Oh, yeah. Comfortably. Comfortably won the league. Yeah, for anyone new into the stream, we did win the league comfortably. We're celebrating at the moment. This is the after party. When are these games happening? 28th, so 2 days. We have got time to see who we're going to play. Right. The extra matches are just for fun. Yeah, exactly. They're not the playoffs. We're not going to treat them as the playoffs because playoffs, I've lost, I think it's 10 consecutive playoffs now I've lost. We are into double figures. But this is not the playoffs. This is just an end of season tournament. Fitness friendlies, exactly. We're just doing this because I mean, it's April. It's not fair on our fans to make them go all the way through to August without any more football. So we're just going to play a couple of extra matches at the end of the season. Just for the fans. We're doing it for them. Just find out who we're going to play. Come on. Someone rubbish. That's what we're looking for here. We want injuries. We want suspensions. We want poor form. Right, Notts County beat Aldershot. Port Vale beat Ebbsfleet. So who does that mean we play, and have we beaten them this season? So we are going to be playing... Does it even say? Port Vale's 10-game unbeaten home run continues. That doesn't bode well if we're playing them. We are playing... Still hasn't told us. Who are we playing? I need to know who we're playing. In the promotion celebration matches that we'll be doing tomorrow at 1 o'clock-ish. Apparently nobody. We're not even training because we don't think we've got a match. I think the players have bought into the idea that the season is over, which is alarming. Who are we playing? How do we not know yet? What the hell is going on? Who are we playing? We're waiting for a draw to happen, apparently. I thought it was automatic. No, apparently it's a draw. So just draw them all. We play Notts County. Notts County finished 5th, but we're in better form than us. How have we done against Notts County in the league this year? I hear you all cry. We lost 3-1 at their place. And then back in the middle of December, we beat them 3-0 at home. Tomorrow is going to be a challenge, and I will see you all back here bright and early, 1 o'clock-ish tomorrow. But for now, I'm sending you all over to YouTube. We've got another Peterborough non-lethal legend episode coming out in about 90 seconds over there. So thank you very much for joining me here today. We will be back again tomorrow. But for now, thank you very much. Toodle pip and goodbye. Bye.